If all the world's a stage, then a performer's debut can be held anywhere, from the bustling streets of the inner city to the quiet, peaceful streets of small-town America. Case in point, Sealy, Texas. It served as Eric Dickerson's first stage, and though it wasn't a lavish premiere, the performance generated fond memories.
I liked Sealy a lot when I grew up there. It was very small, not a lot to do. Well, I first started playing football when I was about 11 or 12 years old. Not organized football, such as like in high school or junior high. I used to play on the side of Bethel Baptist Church. Me and the guys would get together. We'd always play on Saturdays and Sundays. That was our day to play football.
At Sealy High School, Eric Dickerson took center stage and dominated the spotlight. In his senior year, he rushed for 2,653 yards and led Sealy to a state championship. In that title game, Eric rushed for 311 yards and 4 touchdowns, a starring role that even his boyhood idol would have been proud of.
My hero was O.J. Simpson. On the Saturdays and Sundays, I was O.J., no doubt, because he was my man. And when the Buffalo Bills played, they could lose. If O.J. had a good day, that was good enough for me. He was my hero in the NFL, and for me to break his record was a big honor.
For at least one moment in time, Eric Dickerson shared the stage with no one. He was the greatest. But the LA stage grew old, so Eric took his act to America's heartland and carried the Colts to a division championship. 1989 has been bittersweet. He surpassed the 10,000-yard mark quicker than any back in history, but he has been slowed by injuries. Tonight, he takes center stage, primed to reassert himself as the best in the game.
I like to win, no matter what. I mean, I'm a winner, and I make good money, and I produce.
From the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, it's the 2-8 Jets against the 4-6 Indianapolis Colts. Let's take a look at the AFC playoff picture. Not much clearer after today's action. Buffalo and Miami tied in the East. Cleveland 7-3-1 after the tie today. Denver pending Monday night's game at 8-2. Gets very interesting when you look at the wild card picture, though. Houston at 7-4, Cincinnati at 6-5. Then you drop below 500. Pittsburgh and the Raiders at 5-6. Indianapolis with a win tonight would join that group at only one game under 500 and still in the picture. Good evening, everybody. Mike Patrick along with Joe Theismann, and it's great to have you with us on ESPN. The Indianapolis Colts need a win tonight in the worst way, and for one of the few times this year, Eric Dickerson is healthy and he wants the football.
He really does. I talked to Eric. He feels like he's the guy that can make this thing happen. They've tried to go to a more balanced attack on offense, throwing a little bit more, running a little bit. That's not going to cut it. Eric Dickerson is here to run the football. The Indianapolis Colts will win if Eric Dickerson has a good night.
In each of the last 4 years, the Colts have lost their starting quarterback within the first month of the season. This year's no different.
It really hasn't, and Jack Trudeau's been there a couple times himself, but he's back tonight. Trudeau is the kind of a football player who has to take a look at things. Last week, he took the week off. He stood on the sidelines. He had a chance to take a look at the field from a different perspective. In talking to him, he says, I have to assume a leadership role on this football team. So tonight, it's really going to fall on his shoulders to play well. This is a very important football game for Jack Trudeau.
The Jets have not been healthy all year. They still aren't, but at least it's getting better.
It is getting better. Al Toon is going to play. Wesley Walker might play. Matter of fact, we will see him. They tested him on the field before the game. He's active and will play. But on offense, you're without Al Toon for 15 practices of the entire year, including training camp. A big part of their weaponry on offense. You've got Wesley Walker in and out. Mickey Schuler's gone for the season. Ken O'Brien has been sporadic, but in talking to Joe Walton, he's playing much better the last 3 games.
Now, the Jets know what they have to do on defense to win tonight. That's sell out to the run and stop one Eric Dickerson.
That's exactly right. You know, you talk to Eric McMillan, who's probably the best free safety in football. He loves the opportunity to go out and direct that defense from his free safety position. Tonight, what you're going to see the Jets do is they're going to commit to the blitz. They know they have to stop Eric Dickerson if they're going to win this football game. It's going to put a lot of pressure on those young secondary guys to make big plays.
Joe Walton on the sideline, of course, under pressure. He came into the year as the only winning coach in Jets history at 52, 55-1, his current record. Ron Meyer also under pressure for the Indianapolis Colts in his 7th season, an 18-16 record with the Patriots, 25-18 here in Indianapolis. Pat Leahy will kick it off. James Pruitt and Clarence Verdun are deep to receive for the Colts. Pruitt, 86, Verdun, 83. And they want to make sure the Jets can't kick it away from the guy they want to have the football. And Pruitt, who fumbled the opening kickoff a week ago from the goal line. Nice return across the 20, fumbled it again. And as opposed to last week, Pruitt's fumble does not cost them possession.
Pruitt running into the same problem he had last week, just unloading the football. Now, it was cold outside last week. No excuse here. He does a pretty good job protecting it. Now, as he tries for the extra yardage, it just comes flying out.
He was drilled by Leander Knight, who caught him from the blind side, and Pruitt limping off the field. Brian Baldinger made the recovery. So the Colts will start from their own 23-yard line. We'll set the offensive lineups and defensive lineups for you in just a moment. And early movement. Looked like a mix-up between the center Ray Donaldson and Jack Trudeau, the quarterback. And Trudeau historically has had trouble with the center snap. This is Jerry Seaman, the referee.
Number 53 offense, still first down.
You know, I really believe when your football team is struggling, you have to come out, go on a simple, quick count, give the ball to Eric Dickerson, and let's see what's going to happen. You know, you start thinking too much and making adjustments, you create holes for yourself like they did.
I mean, Donaldson's been to 3 straight Pro Bowls, one of the best centers in the game. So it's 1st and 15. Dickerson, the lone setback, and he goes in motion. Trudeau bobbled the snap there. Guns over the middle and through behind his intended receiver, Andre Rison. Humphrey on the coverage, and listen to the Boo Birds. Jack Trudeau starts after missing a week with a broken finger. He's 3-3 as a starter in place of the injured Chris Chandler. Dickerson has had problems with a hamstring. He missed a game 2 weeks ago, the first of his career, and has had more fumbling problems, but he's still number 4 in the NFL in rushing. The offensive line is an excellent unit. Left tackle Chris Hinton has been to 6 straight Pro Bowls. He is simply one of the greatest who has ever played this game on the offensive line. 2nd and 15. Brooks was the man in motion. They give it to Dickerson. Following Hinton. Nice block. 25, 29-yard line. Cut down by Eric McMillan, the Pro Bowl safety. The Jets defense dead last in the league. 11-year veteran Marty Lyon still plays the run well, but the pass rush up front is virtually invisible. The linebacking is average, but controversial top-round draft choice Jeff Lageman is improving. His development severely hampered by a contract holdout. The secondary has been burned to a crisp this year. The entire defense has only 10 interceptions. Pro Bowler Eric McMillan continues to star. He has 5 of those 10.
And this is where Jack Trudeau has got to shine. Last week, and you look at the 3rd down conversions for the Colts, it has not been good. He's got to make a play for his football team.
Albert Bentley comes into the offensive backfield, and the Jets change their entire defensive line on a passing situation. Trudeau with time, throws complete to Bill Brooks. Midfield and more. Still on his feet, tried to lateral the ball, thought better of it. McMillan took him out of bounds with help from Leander Knight. Good throw by Trudeau.
Well, this is what happens when you have to commit secondary people to man-to-man coverage. You see the linebackers running out covering Dickerson. Billy Brooks just comes right across the middle. It's a very difficult thing to do when you have to cover one-on-one. And that's what happens. He manages to pick up big yardage.
28-yard gain, and Bill Brooks, 9th in the conference in yardage, picks up 28 that time. His best career game has come against the New York Jets. Trudeau on first down. Plenty of time again. Brooks has it in front of Hasty. Out of bounds to 31. It will be another first down. 36 catches for Bill Brooks. He has 4.5 speed, and Hasty had to give him some room.
Well, this is, like I said, this is a very big football game for Jack Trudeau. He's got to find himself. You know, you get displaced as the starter in the beginning of the year. It's Chris Chandler's football team. Now, you can't worry about Chris Chandler anymore. It's the guy on the field that's got to make it happen, and Trudeau looks like he's risen himself to the occasion.
1st and 10, Colts on the march, opening possession, first quarter. Dickerson dances into the hole, cuts back. He's brilliant at it down to the 28-yard line. Marty Lyons on the tackle along with George Radachowski, who comes up from the safety.
There's Eric's numbers. Still a perennial All-Pro. He's most dangerous because he's so deep in the eye is when he starts his flow one way and starts to cut back against the grain. That's where Eric Dickerson makes most of his yardage. And
this is what the Colts have done in their 10 previous games. Only one score on their opening possession. Not very good. 2nd and 6. Trudeau again with time. The Jets pass rush has been miserable, and Dickerson drops it. He has never been the most sure-handed pass receiver. That one, he just turned around and wanted to run before he had it.
Well, when he saw it, he saw absolutely nobody in front of him. There's Ron Meyer. He's looking at the whole thing. Trudeau does an excellent job. He sees his receivers downfield covered. Lyons gets in his face. Now, Dickerson, see how he turns his head? There's nobody there. He's going to run in for a touchdown from 30 yards away, and he knows it.
And the Colts fans are out of patience.
Yeah.
Anything that goes wrong, they are right on top of this club.
That's it. They've never been booed in here, so this is a new experience for that football team.
And it's one they're not going to like either. 3rd and 6. Jets show blitz and come. Trudeau with time and overthrows. Risen out there, but covered well by Bobby Humphrey. And Trudeau paid the price.
This is the pass rush defense. You see McMillan come up. Dickerson does a good job picking him up, but that's Bird. That's one in the face for Jack Trudeau. That's why they put face masks on. Make sure your nose doesn't go flat to your face.
Biasucci comes on. He'll try a 45-yard field goal. It's an outstanding year. Ron Stark, the punter, is his holder. He has only missed from 48, 49, 50, and 52. Plenty of distance. And Dean Biasucci, with his 15th field goal of the year, puts the Indianapolis Colts on top of the Jets. He got on the fumble.
Yeah, he's 0 for 2 in the last 2 games.
Bobby Humphrey and JoJo Townsend deep for the Jets. Humphrey, 4 yards deep. He'll bring it out. Has the seam. Brought down at the 23, and a late flag comes down. Thrown about 10 yards behind where the ball carrier was, and when you're losing, this is the kind of thing that happens to you. You get a 30-yard return and it comes back.
It's frustrating. What happens is you've got frustrated athletes on the field. Everybody's trying to do a little bit more to help the football team win.
Holding, number 77 receiving team during the return. First down.
Gerald Nichols, a defensive lineman, caught holding.
There's Joe Walton, a man who's received an awful lot of heat in New York, and it has not been a pleasant year for Coach Walton and the Jets.
New York starts at its own 13. Hector and Vick, the split backs. Johnny Hector with the first carry. Slipped one tackle, got out to the 17-yard line. Ken O'Brien brings the Jets in #1 in the conference in yards passing and completions, but he has 13 interceptions. That's the second highest total of his career. The Jets' best pass receivers have all been injured. Pro Bowler Al Toon has missed 4 and been slowed in others, but they have had to throw behind an offensive line that has allowed a whopping 39 sacks and hasn't opened a lot of holes for the running game. Center Jim Sweeney, with all-pro potential, is the best man they have up front. 2nd and 5. O'Brien a little half roll. Check down to Hector. Couldn't hold it. Chip Banks was almost in a position to pick that overthrow off.
This is one where they move the quarterback. Now watch, O'Brien's going to move to left. This is called a waggle in the terminology. He looks downfield. The receivers aren't open. Now Hector's on what's called a check down. He just checks into an open area. The problem that O'Brien has is he can't see him because of the rush of Donnell Thompson on that side.
3rd and 5. Ezra Johnson and Sam Clancy, 90 and 76 respectively, check in. You thought the Colts were bad? They're 2nd in the league. The Jets have not scored at all on their opening possession this year. Delay, Hector. And the Jets, barring a miracle, are not going to score on their opening possession. They're up close to the 23-yard line. John Hand made the tackle. 4th-year defensive end and a good one. They will measure for the first down.
Real close. They've got to get over the 23-yard line. If this one makes it, it's going to make it by the nose, and that's about it. There it is.
And that normally doesn't happen when you're losing games.
I was just going to say, this could be an indication that fortunes may have turned for the Jets because they finally made one.
JoJo Townsell checking with Joe Walton. And we'll check the Colts defense. They've been burned lately, and they're not as aggressive as they were earlier this year. Still number 2 in the conference in sacks. Donnell Thompson, his 9th year as a starter, has 4 of them. The linebacking core loaded with Pro Bowlers. Dwayne Pickett, a complete player with tremendous talent. Excellent against the run and even better in pass coverage. The Colts missing both starting corners. They're woefully short of experience in the secondary because of it. Back to live action, and Hector with the carry. Gets it out around the 25-yard line. The Jets have not run the ball much this year because of their injuries, and Joe Walton is a coach who likes to have a balanced offense. He hasn't been able to get it.
Most coaches, Joe, I played for Joe Walton, I played for Joe Gibbs. They have the same philosophy. They're 60 to 65% run-oriented. They throw the ball when the opportunity is there. You're expected to make 3rd down in 4s, 5s, and 6s. That's the quarterback's responsibility. He has not had that kind of success running, so he can't get into 3rd and 4.
2nd and 7. Freeman McNeil will check out of the ball game. No, he comes out as a wide receiver outside of Altoon to the near side. O'Brien, a little swing. Hector, blockers in front. Nice effort by Johnny Hector. Dives up to the 38-yard line, a gain of 11.
Johnny Hector
starting his 4th game this year.
Yeah, you know, he's only had 20 receptions, but it's been 9.8. So he's the kind of guy that is going to take the swing out, pick up a first down for you. Nothing spectacular. Of course, Freeman McNeil's been in and out. Their backs just really haven't performed much. You know, 30 receptions for McNeil, 20 for Johnny Hector, 18 for Roger Vick. They spread it around a lot.
Walker and Toon are the wideouts. That's going to be a great feeling for Ken O'Brien. He hasn't seen that this year. First time they've played together. Quick out, too high for Walker, who really gets stuck in the back by John Malay. 2nd and 10, delay to Hector, room to run. And all at once the room disappears. Jeff Herrod, the leading tackler, brings them down. Herrod, the only starting linebacker on this group who has not been to the Pro Bowl, but the way he's playing, he'll get there one of these days.
He's a self-made man, Mike. Here's a guy who really, as an inside linebacker, they talk in speeds in the National Football League in 40-yard dashes. At the beginning or the end of last year, he was clocked at 4.9. Worked out all through the offseason, knocked 0.2 of a second off. He's a 4.7 inside linebacker. To take 0.1 of a second off is tremendous. To take 2 is incredible. Also, he only bench presses 460. Me, you, and the building.
The Jets, 27th in the league. They were woeful last week against Miami, only 1 of 11. 3rd and 7 here. O'Brien battling the north. Has good protection, throws to Toon, bobbled it, but brought it down at midfield. That'll be a first down on a gain of 13. Bruce Plummer was there, but too late.
We talked about the Colts having their trouble. They've lost Good. They've lost Daniels, excuse me, as their corners. Here he is against Plummer. You got to give a guy this size with that speed respect. He almost lets that one get away from him. Very important catch. Always try and get your star receiver the ball early in a game so that he can get his confidence up. He takes a few shots and relaxes.
It's only the 25th catch of the year for Al Toon. Another Pro Bowler. Mickey Schuler only played a little bit before he was hurt. He's on injured reserve. Swing to McNeil. Nice move by Freeman McNeil. First down and more to the 37-yard line. And right now, the New York Jets have most of their guns on offense, and you can see the difference it makes. But McNeil comes up limping.
I mean, it's the same problem he's had. I mean, he's got the knee. It's been a problem for him. And now he makes a move. And Freeman McNeil does not run. He gallops. He's a galloper. He gets outside. And here, watch the gallop move. Here, let's change the gait, slide the knee by. And you see, he just gallops, gets down low, but again, takes a shot and winds up limping off.
1st and 10. Jets. Johnny Hector checks into the backfield. Hector, huge hole up the middle. Couldn't slip the last tackle, got down to the 25. Gain of 11. Mike Pryor, the free safety, saved a touchdown.
This is the weakness of the Colts right here. The inside linebackers, this area right here, they're not real big. And so therefore, the Jets feel like they can take that big offensive line of theirs and pound it out. I mean, when you look at the offensive line, 290, 280, 280 up the middle, 274. I mean, you got some big men moving people up the middle.
A.B. Brown, the rookie out of West Virginia, comes into the backfield, and he will come wide left for New York. Colts on a blitz. O'Brien still has time and throws the bomb for Brown too far. Bruce Plummer on the coverage.
Well, they were expecting a zone defense. I talked to some of the coaches around the league, defensive coaches in particular, as well as offensive coaches. Actually, I talked to a lot of coaches, Mike.
Talked to
everybody. I try and call them. The biggest change that they've seen in the 80s is in the red area, the 20-yard area. Most teams used to line up and play man-to-man, and that was a pass pattern designed against man-to-man coverage. Now what you're seeing a lot of is zone coverages in the red area by defenses.
12th play of this drive that's taken more than 6 minutes, 2nd and 10. O'Brien with all day to find a receiver, and look who he found, Chip Banks. Banks brought down at the 25-yard line. A return of 10 for the former Pro Bowler with the Browns and the San Diego Chargers. And O'Brien working on a career-high interceptions. That was 14 for the season.
Cardinal mistake for a quarterback. Never try and hit a crossing pattern late, because what happens is Banks is going to sit there and drop back and watch O'Brien's eyes. And as soon as he sees him turn, he'll make the play on the ball. See him watch the quarterback, see him drift back into the middle. Stop it right there. We'll show you right there. See that? Right up in that area. He makes the interception.
So the Jets failed to score after an impressive...
They built the stadium around him.
3-0 Indianapolis.
They put all those other seats around him here.
Banks' interception gives the Colts the ball back at their own 25. Dickerson and Bentley in the same backfield. Bentley on the delay. Should have delayed it a little longer. Benson was the first guy in, cracking through the line of scrimmage, and then Paul Fraze helped out. Ken O'Brien on the sideline. Long drive that came up with nothing, Joe.
Well, he just held the ball too long, and there's Chip Banks. He just watched his eyes. You never want to throw anywhere on the field if you're at the quarterback position. You never want to make a decision to throw any kind of an in pattern late across the field, because now they've got these 34 defenses, and a linebacker always pops up where you don't want him.
2nd and 13. Colts go with 3 wide receivers and Dickerson to setback. Plenty of time for Trudeau. Completes it to Andre Rison. guy's got all sorts of moves, dancing toward the sticks. James Hasty shoved him out of bounds after a game of 11. Rison has really come on in the last 3 or 4 ball games as they have thrown more to them, and he's an exciting player.
He will be an all-pro someday. You know, in the not-too-distant future, he has all the tools. You see his numbers. He's got everything you need. But Jack Trudeau is starting to play. Now, you see his left hand. He has a glove on it to protect a broken pinky that has 3 pins in on his left hand. And some of the problems you may see with snaps tonight, that's the reason why.
It's 3rd and 1. 7 of 8 times in that situation this year, they have gone to Dickerson to try to get it. Make it 8 of 9. And second effort gets him across the 35 for the first down. Mercereau and Fraze on the tackle for the Jets. Dickerson leads all NFL running backs and everyone except quarterbacks with fumbles. He has 7. It has been a problem throughout his career, but he gives you so much. You wonder, you know, where that 50-50 break-even point is.
The other thing you got to remember is last week was the first week he's missed because of injuries in his entire career. That's a lot of hits for a guy.
1st and 10. Dickerson, they messed up the handoff. Dickerson ducks under Paul Fraze and got a couple.
See, Trudeau, we saw exactly the problem you run into. Trudeau has got a glove and just a big bandage on his pinky, on his left hand. When he tries to make the handoff here, he's got to use his left hand because Dickerson is coming from the right. Now, he can't grip the ball. First of all, the guard hits it, which makes it more difficult. Now he comes out and he tries to hand on the ball. Eric does everything he can to hold on. That was Ben Utt that ran into it.
Good job by Trudeau to get it back.
It really is. That ball was really knocked totally out of his hands.
Dickerson so far, 4 carries, 19 yards. Colts have a 2nd and 8 at their own 37. Put on some pressure. Trudeau just got rid of it and completed it to Bill Brooks for a short gain. They'll mark it at the 39-yard line. Right with him, Kyle Clifton, the defensive signal caller, with his 100th tackle of the season. And Alex Gordon was coming hard trying to put on the pressure.
You know, the Colts have had a horrible time on 3rd downs as well. But in their last 3 ball games, they have not had a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. And last week, they had to try and convert 3rd and 6 or more. And percentages are just not in your favor. They're coming up now 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. And that's where you convert the 3rd down.
3rd and 2 in this situation. Fake to Dickerson. Reverse clearance for Dan. Plenty of room. Big gain for Dan, and he had Kevin Call, all 308 pounds in front of him on the sweep. And now we've got a fight. Harsh words after the play, and it elevated a little bit. Bill Brooks down there, Howard, and Kevin Call, and they're still going at it. Call has a hold of one of the Jets and is not about to let loose.
Well, they call Kevin Call Creature. Now we're finding out why.
Yeah.
I mean, they got some nicknames in that offensive line. Chris Hinton's called the Dancing Bear. Ray Donaldson's the Bulldog, and of course Kevin Call is the Creature.
And he had a hold of Marty Lyons.
There's 2 creatures.
Well, what some
Hey,
speed.
there's a fight between creatures. That one should go in the dinosaur book if that's going to be a fight.
308 pounds leading the running back downfield, and there's Marty Lyons, 11 years, the sole survivor of the sack exchange. Like to play at least another year. He's a good guy. I hope he does play another year. Jerry Seaman trying to sort things out. The ball was spotted at the 30.
You know, you got 2 football teams trying their darndest to dig themselves out of a rut, and that's exactly what happens. See, now no guard hits the ball. He does a nice job of handing off. Nice, good pocket position. And Verdan, of course, he's a kick return guy. So, boom, he's down the field.
Look at Verdan, the size compared to Kevin Call. Dickerson. Excellent play by Fraze. Came from the backside and dragged him down. Second-year man out of Syracuse. Excellent against the run. And so many young players on this Jets club.
Well, they are. They've made the commitment to young. You'll see him lower right side. When the tackle pulls, he hops right in his hip. See how he gets right in the hip of the tackle? Kevin Call, 71. And with Eric Dickerson being 7 yards deep in the backfield, He's not going to be able to, unless he hits it hard up the field, he's not going to outrun anybody, least of all Paul Fraze.
Loss of 4, 2nd and 14. Clock turning in a rapidly moving first quarter. 2:50 left. It's 3-0 Colts. Ron Stallworth, number 96, the rookie out of Auburn, is checked in on the Jets defensive line. Trudeau with time, throws over the middle and complete to his tight end Mark Boyer. Boyer double teamed by the linebackers and brought down. Kevin MacArthur is there along with Clifton.
Well, this is what you do against a 34. The linebackers drop back into position, and you just have to have the tight end sit down. He knows he's going to get hit. See him how he squinches over? It's a good word, squinch. I used to squinch a lot before I got hit. You know, you'd feel defensive ends coming at you. They'd squinch you. But you tuck up, and you know you're going to get hit, and you just want to protect the ball.
Trudeau, 5 out of 8, 66 yards so far. Colts driving again, already leading 3-0. 3rd and 6 here. Inside handoff, Bentley. Broke a tackle, dives forward near the 21-yard line. He had to get just inside the 21 for the first down. Leander Knight made the tackle. The crowd is already cheering go.
I'll tell you something, I would go for it. You know why? Because you got Hinton at 300 at left tackle, Dickerson 300, Donaldson at 290, Utt at 295, and Call at 308. Your entire offensive line averages 300 pounds. The defensive line and linebackers average about 260. All it is, it's mano a mano. This is where you find, these are gut checks. A coach loves situations like this because you find out what your team is made of.
What the Colts have done on 4th down this year. Ivy Joe Hunter in front of Dickerson gets the carry. 1st down and more. Down to the 15-yard line. 1st and 10. Clifton made another tackle.
Watch the offensive line get off the ball. If the offense gets under the defense, which you see their pads under the Jets' pads, there's going to be movement up front. That's all you need to give a running back an opportunity to make yardage.
Ivy Joe Hunter with an excellent block on Troy Benson. Ball spotted just outside the 15-yard line. 38 seconds to go first quarter.
The Jets have got to blitz here. They've got to come up with a big play, and you can't do it playing zone.
Bentley, the tailback, he'll get the carry. Wrapped up in a hurry, Scott Mercereau, the first man there, and then got some help. The nose man, 280 out of Southern Connecticut. This is some offensive line for the Colts. At left tackle, Chris Hinton. I'll tell you what, the only thing keeping him out of the Hall of Fame is he's still playing.
That's the truth. I mean, he is just an incredible football player. The dancing bear.
A rapid first quarter, and it's 3-0 at the end of the period. The Colts at home on top of the New York Jets will be. Trudeau with time, almost picked off right in the hands of James Hasty. 90 yards away from a touchdown, and there's a flag down. The Jets have had trouble picking off passes. Will go against the Colts. Hasty has 3, McMillan has 5, the rest of the team has 2.
Well, you know, it always seems to happen, Mike. When your team is struggling, balls go through your hands, you miss things by a little bit. Here Hasty has a chance, and they get a penalty against him.
Pass interference, number 80 offense, still 2nd down.
Called on Bill Brooks, and now the Jets say they don't want the penalty. They've already marked it off. Let's see what they'll do.
Well, you know, once you tell the ref, that's what he does. You can't go over and change it. Trudeau makes a throw. They got a pick going on the left side. And there's the out pattern, and there's Hasty. That's a catchable ball. You know, but again, defensive backs, they're paid to hit people and cover people, not necessarily catch it. Although you'd like to see it happen every now and then.
2nd and 19 now for the Colts. 3 wide receivers and Dickerson. Dickerson on the delay. Nice defensive play by Marvin Washington, the rookie out of Idaho. Would not let Dickerson get away from him. Raw talent there.
Oh, yeah, unbelievable. Thinking right here, Mike, if you're the Jets, what you do is you tell your secondary people, don't give up the big play. Let them kick the field goal. We're only a touchdown down. We moved the ball in the first drive. We're okay. But you guys have to let them settle for 3, or knock them back further out of field goal range, but you can't let them get a first down or a touchdown here.
13th play of the drive, 3rd and 15 for Trudeau and the Colts. Four-man rush and time over the middle. Incomplete. Bentley couldn't hold it. McMillan was right there to break it up. And Ron Meyer wanted a flag. There is one down at the 14-yard line. McMillan, a superstar in the Jets secondary.
It's going to be pass interference against the New York Jets.
It's a backbreaker on 3rd and 19.
You know,
Illegal contact, number 20 defense, first down.
It's Leander Knight, one of the backup corners.
what happens when you get a young football team, here's a first-year guy. You got to know you can only chuck people in a 5-yard area. And what happens is he's going to hit some late. See him coming in on the right side of your screen, he runs up to tackle him instead of cover him. And why in heaven's name the Colts have got, or the Jets have got the middle of the football field wide open? Absolutely baffles me.
Makes it 1st and 10. The Colts get a new life from the 15. Another opportunity for Dickerson. Dives forward, maybe a yard. Marty Lyons again made the initial contact. Lyons still plays the run very, very well.
Marty with a sack this year, 11 years, #1 draft choice, 1979, out of Alabama. There you see this, where he came from, and what do you, boy, I bet you'd love to be a #1 now instead of 79.
A couple of more zeros on the check.
Just add another 0 or so.
2nd and 8. Bentley behind Hinton. What a crushing block. Hinton buried Benson. Paul Fraze and Lageman on the tackle. Hinton is a killer, 300 pounds, and he can run.
Yeah, that's the worst thing about it. I mean, if he's 300 pounds, he's standing to left tackle, number 75. There they go. It's almost like the old counter tray, counter outside play. Bentley just hops in his hip pocket. We saw Fraze jump in Paul's hip pocket to make a defensive play. Smart little running back just hops in. See, lets him take him out and cuts up inside.
3rd down, 4 yards to go. Colts 3 out of 5 on 3rd down so far tonight. Comes the blitz. Trudeau with time. Complete. Brooks can't get it into the end zone. McMillan held him up, and he's down to the 2-yard line. It will be another 1st down. Trudeau has done nothing spectacular yet, but he has been very efficient.
That's right. He's letting the stars of the football team do things spectacular. There you see Brooks create a throwing lane for Jack Trudeau. He moved inside to where the defensive linemen and linebackers weren't, so he gave Jack a clear vision to make him throw the ball and protected it.
1st and goal. Bentley, touchdown. Rushing touchdown of the season for Albert Bentley, 3 overall. And Biasucci will come on for the extra point. Biasucci, 19 out of 19 this year. A 16-play drive that took up 9 minutes and 31 seconds. The Colts, impressive on their possession offense, leading 10-0. And the Jets, 3 minutes and 1 second into the 2nd quarter, will get the ball for only the 2nd time in the entire game. Humphrey and Townsend deep to receive. You can't have the ball, you can't score.
Well, that's what happens when you turn it over down close.
Biasucci, nice high kick. Townsend from the 1. Has the seam. Townsend all the way out to the 48-yard line. Guess what? There's a flag down.
Oh, I couldn't have. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Bruce Plummer made the tackle.
Anybody runs that far, you got to figure a flag's coming from somewhere.
Oh, but it's against the Colts.
Oh, I apologize. Ray's not happy. Or Ron, I'm sorry. Ron's not very happy with that one.
I don't think Ray, wherever he is happy either.
Gary, there's a Ray somewhere that's not very happy.
Personal foul, face mask during the return, number 27 kicking team, first down.
That's a 15-yarder against Keith Taylor, a reserve defensive back. Big break for the Jets, and when we come back, they'll have the ball at the 36 of the 46 to go second quarter, and Dean Biasucci has had a better time than he did on that last kickoff.
Well, here, he's a kicker. He's a tough guy. He's going to stick his head in to try and make the tackle. Well, he misses Townsell, but McElroy just absolutely knees him and sends him into la-la land for a little while. He might think twice about trying to make tackles again.
There's Dean on the sideline, relating the story.
They're great. He says, did you, I stuck my head in, and really, I would have made the tackle. I really would have made the tackle, but all of a sudden, my lights went out. I saw nothing. I mean, look, I'm still not sure the lights are back on in there.
Big break for the Jets on the fine kick return by JoJo Townsell and the 15-yard face mask penalty. And they have the ball at the Colts' 36-yard line. What a great drive by Indianapolis. 16 plays, 9-31. The Jets moved the ball well the first time they had it. O'Brien, Toon, ducks a big tackle by Bruce Plummer, who tried to take his head off.
The Jets have to do exactly what they did in the first drive. Run between the tackles, throw the little ball out to Al Toon, let him make a play. Kenny O'Brien, overlooked because of the record of his football team, still one of those 83 grads of the quarterback school that have come in and is capable of putting big numbers up.
Hector and Vick are the running back. O'Brien had it batted down at the line of scrimmage. John Hand got a hand up.
And John Hand, just a mild 6'7", stands on the side.
Unusual for a defensive lineman. He's 301. A lot of guys aren't that big.
Normally not that big, but here he does. See, once he makes the initial charge, and you see more and more of this with the ends. I saw Richard Dent knock a pass down today in a game. They take a couple steps. As soon as they get blocked, if they can't put pressure on the passer, they slam on the brakes and jump up and try and knock down the ball, which happened in that case.
3rd and 3, both wide receivers to the near side of the field, Toon and Townsell. And Johnny Hector got one hand out and couldn't hold it. So the Jets get close but can't get the first down, and they'll set up for the field goal. Hope you'll be with us next Sunday. Game day at 11:30 Eastern. What a brilliant story they had this morning on Freeman McNeil and what psychologically injuries do to people. Hope you had a chance to see that. Then prime time at 7 o'clock, both shows starring Pete Axtell.
That's right. I enjoyed that show.
Then the Rams and the Saints will be in New Orleans. Pat Leahy will try from 46 yards out. Has the distance, and he got it. Leahy puts the Jets on the board with 10:57 to go. That was on game day this morning about Freeman McNeil. We will update that for you right after the kickoff. Pat Leahy, who connected on the 46-yard field goal. Bentley and Verdun deep. Bentley at the 2. Buried at the 19. Freeman McNeil really hasn't been the same since the first game against the Colts. He has lost his starting job. He was really affected by a block that he put on O'Brien Alston, damaged Alston's knee, and put him out for the season. There's O'Brien Alston in the civvies in the background there. And Freeman McNeil was really bothered psychologically by it. And you have a lot of guys who came up to him and said, we really understand, what you're going through. Nobody likes to see that. But it's really affected his performance. We'll develop that a little bit more. Trudeau with time. He wants it all. Rising! What a great catch all the way to the 20-yard line. James Hasty made the tackle. the rookie out of Michigan State.
The last 3 or 4 games, Andre Rison has started to catch the ball more. He just lines up and runs, doesn't do anything fancy. Hasty stays in his back pedal a long time and just figures he can run with them. Eric McMillan trying to help out. That's just a great catch. That's a great catch and a great throw by Jack Trudeau.
Tremendous adjustment as the ball sailed from his inside shoulder toward his outside. Dickerson cuts it back, got maybe a yard. Loggeman, the rookie out of Virginia, 250 pounds, was right there along with Marty Lyons.
Yeah, Mike, let me just, about the, we were talking about Freeman McNeil and O'Brien Alston before. It's funny, I've been a guy who's been a part of a very severe injury. I was the guy that got it. Nobody ever really thinks about the people that deliver the blow. I talked to Lawrence Taylor after my injury. He was affected by it, as Freeman was in that instance. But Freeman's back. O'Brien Alston looked pretty good. I saw him in the locker room, so everybody's sort of coming back from that. But it's a traumatic experience for both people involved.
Just have to find a way to psychologically get it out of your mind and go on with what you're doing. 2nd and 8, Trudeau. Again with time, throws, and almost picked off. Radachowski came across in front of Brooks. Had another shot at it, but couldn't come up with it. There's Radachowski, and speaking of injuries, the Jets secondary's been decimated.
Well, you know, they lose Miano. Now this is a little squiggler. He just does manage to get a finger on it. You see, just instead of hitting Billy Brooks between the 8 and the 0, it winds up hitting him on the 0. And it's, you know, just that little bit deflects the flight of the ball, and you wind up with an incompletion.
Radachowski out of Boston College played with the Colts in 84 and 85. Now Trudeau faces 3rd and 8. Trudeau looks right side, throws. Bentley can't hold it. Would have had the first down at the 11-yard line. Leander Knight and Carl Howard back on defense. But the Colts will have to go for the field goal again.
You take a look at this. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 receivers. You don't have to worry about Eric Dickerson if you're the New York Jets in coverage, which is really a little bit of an advantage for the Jets. Dickerson is not going out into pass coverage. Now, that was not a very good throw by Trudeau, but really, if you're the Jets, you only have to defend 4 guys instead of 5.
Biasucci will try from 37. He has hit his last 16 field goals inside of 40 yards. But there goes the streak. And Biasucci, who has been such a tremendous kicker this year, 15 out of 19, is now 15 out of 20 and misfired on that one. Indianapolis, it would have been 13-3, but Dean Biasucci, number 4, missed only his 5th field goal of the season. Here was Ron Meyer's reaction.
That is not a happy camper right there. You know, in games like this, every point, every play is magnified.
When you're losing, it's magnified even more. Just from their own 20. Hector races through the hole up to the 24-yard line. Brought down by Jeff Harrod, number 54. He's had 3 straight games of 10 tackles or more. There's Ron Meyer on the sideline. As we told you at the beginning of the telecast, one of the coaches in the NFL under pressure this year with a losing record. And there is Jim Irsay, and he had some quite public things to say this week. He's
laid the gauntlet down to a lot of people on the football team. You got to put up now, guys, because I'm shopping.
2nd and 5. They give Hector the 25 on the last carry. And Hector again. Dodges 1 tackle, could only get back to the line of scrimmage. Dwayne Bickett. One of the little publicized but outstanding linebackers in this game.
I had a long conversation with Jim Irsay, and, you know, a couple of things he talked about. He really felt like the offense was struggling, and tonight they're doing a terrific job, much better. And he said Hinton's playing great. He told me, really, Ron Myers has a job here. He's not interested in going to look for anybody else. And, you know, they really miss Chris Chandler. I mean, the thing is, you spend all the training camp with 1 quarterback. All of a sudden, as you mentioned in the open, Mike, through 4 weeks of the season, he's gone, and you're almost cast back where you were. The guy didn't get a lot of work.
3rd and 4, the crowd exhorts the defense. Play action. O'Brien to Hector, trying to beat Bickett. Got the first down, stayed in bounds as long as he could. Finally driven out, and the flag is down. after the play, out of bounds, a gain of 15, and look for 15 more. That's Bruce Plummer, who made what appeared to be a late hit.
We've talked about the problems that the Colts have had in the secondary. They activate Anthony Parker, number 43. Plummer's got to start. He was a backup to Daniels. And now Good is out, so Baylor's got to start.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 23, defense, first down.
Let's take a look.
It's one thing about being beat. You know, it's one thing about being beat. It's another thing about doing foolish things that hurt your football team. Now, I don't know whether you can call that one a personal foul or not. He was coming over to knock him out of bounds. He fell on top of him, but you never know what the Zebras are going to do, so you got to sort of be real smart.
The Jets will take it, however. They're down at the Indianapolis 44. O'Brien tries to dump it off, knocked down, and Donnell Thompson, 99, really in Ken O'Brien's face.
And Donnell Thompson did the Jets a favor because he was trying to dump the ball off to Roger Vick. If Roger Vick catches this ball, he's going to be tackled for about an 8-yard loss. Now here comes Banks putting pressure on. Vick tries to block him. Brown tries to block him. O'Brien winds up getting grabbed by him and losing a sock on top of it.
O'Brien, 5 out of 12, only 57 yards. There's Thompson knocking away Vick, the intended receiver.
Got those big mitts up in the air. I used to hate the tall defensive ends. God, they make your life miserable.
That's all of them, isn't it?
That's it. All of them.
4-man rush. Jets have done a good job protecting O'Brien tonight, and Altoon makes the grab. Pushed out of bounds by Jeff Herrod, but it's very close to first down territory.
We're going to see something now. The Jets are making some changes on offense. They're bringing in Adam Schreiber to play the center position. They bring in Kurt Singer to play one tight end, a free agent out of Tennessee. And then they move Jim Sweeney, who was the original center, over to the other tight end. Because in all truth, the area that's been hit the most on the New York Jets has been their tight ends, and they're just not big enough to get the push in short yardage.
They have lost Mickey Schuler, Billy Griggs, and K.D. Dunn to injury. 3rd and 1. Hector spun out of one tackle, couldn't spin out of a second one. The new system did not work, just like the old system.
Well, that one comes from the guys up the middle.
Cliff Odom and John Baylor made the tackle. Joe Walton with a look of displeasure on his face.
Well, here it is, right up the middle. I mean, Odom just goes where they're not. They do an excellent job defensively on the scheme, and they beat the 2 tackles, or the 2 guards in the center, Dan Alexander.
They will not go for a 55-yard field goal, so the Jets send Joe Prokop onto the field. He leads the NFL with punts inside the 20, so this is a good place for him to try to kill one. High sailing spiral. The Jets will try to down it, and it takes a hop away from a man waiting at the goal line. The Jets did everything right. Prokop put it up to the top of the dome. His teammates got down to the goal line, and the ball kicked sideways. This is not one of either, a Mountaineer or an Orange man. Just a fan who decided to dress up a little bit, come out to the ball game.
Yeah, right. It wasn't that cold outside, was it? That you had to put that kind of an outfit on.
And it's not cold in here either.
Woo.
6:17 to go in the half. Colts from their own 20. It's fake to Dickerson. The throw. Rising. Dances down the sideline. Pushed out of bounds by James Hasty. Both teams have been able to move the football in this game. The Jets made one mistake that cost them a tie, as the Colts have scored a touchdown and a field goal. And the Jets have 1 field goal on the board here in the second quarter. And the storyline is from Indianapolis. Dickerson held to 29 yards rushing. He has not rushed that well against the Jets since becoming a member of the Colts. Rison has had a big first half. Biasucci, first time he's missed inside 40 forever. And total yardage, the Colts by more than 100 over the Jets. Dickerson on the toss. He likes to get the ball out in that position. Ran away from Benson, cut down by McMillan.
Well, that's where Eric Dickerson is going to be most effective, from the tackles out. He can run inside, but he likes to stretch the defense, find a hole, and accelerate. I asked him about his acceleration. He said as soon as he gets the ball, which you see him get it right there, now he's at top speed. Does a little stutter step, and he can cut at top speed. Inside his pants, you can see how tightly wrapped that right hamstring is, and he has to push off it, so it obviously is not bothering him.
36 yards on 10 carries for Dickerson. Biggest run of his career, the biggest pass reception of his career have come against him. He dances into holes so well and doesn't seem to lose any speed whatsoever.
He's also one of the rare running backs that I've ever seen who runs straight up and down. A lot of guys run with a lean forward. Here's a guy who runs basically straight up and down and really takes some shots, but you can't bring him down hitting him high.
I think that's one of the reasons he has fumbled so much, is that straight up running style. And there are his stats against the Jets. Kevin Call, the offensive right tackle, who has had injury problems this year with a sprained foot and a sprained knee, down again.
The Colts have started 5 possessions, and they've averaged 50 yards at least on every one. There you see Dickerson actually, I think, is going to be the one that winds up.
He came down on Call's left ankle as he went across.
Yeah, looks like he got, hard to tell exactly what happened, whether he got hit or kicked there.
It appears that's what they're working on right now. Call obviously in some pain. 60-year player out of Colorado State, originally a 5th-round draft choice at 84. Yes, it is basketball time. Started last week. The Dodge NIT. The semifinals coming up Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern. DePaul and 25th-ranked St. John's against Kansas and #1 UNLV. And Kansas, with that excellent passing game, may give Jerry Tarkanian and his team a test.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. Those running rebels,
they can play, can't they?
No, they don't even call them running anymore. They're just moving faster than running.
Their game against Loyola Marymount, I thought that was going to be the first team to 200 by 2.
Couldn't believe it. That Loyola Marymount took 8 seconds to get a shot off. UNLV took 9 in that game in the first half.
We talked about Freeman McNeil being concerned about an injury on a block he laid on O'Brien Alston as we watch Kevin Call.
We did talk about that.
Yeah,
I remember that. We talked about that. But, you know, here's the kind of situation where this is something that is not as, hopefully it's not very severe, and it's really the kind of thing that happens in the infighting in the offensive line. A lot of guys get lower leg problems, knees and ankles, because, first of all, they get caught on this lousy AstroTurf. Now, it may be good, and it may be good for indoor stadiums, but it's lousy for a football player.
Call coming off. More and more stadiums are going to natural grass inside.
I'd love to see them figure out a way to grow it in here.
They have the lights now that can do it.
Good. Then they ought to.
Brian Baldinger out of Duke comes in at right tackle in place of Kevin Call on 2nd and 8. Delay to Dickerson. Slips a tackle. Stiff arms another man, dives forward to the 46-yard line, very close to another first down. Carl Howard and McMillan made the tackle.
What happens when you commit a safety? Here comes number 20, Knight. He's running so hard to go get Jack Trudeau, he forgets that Eric Dickerson has the ball, has to slam on the brakes and try and catch him. When a space is voided by a blitzing linebacker and a running back can get into it, there is nobody home to tackle.
It is a first down for the Colts. Quick out. Clearance for Dan, first down to the Jets' 40-yard line. 14-yard gain.
Boy, James Hasty comes within a whisker of picking this one off and going the other way. That secondary of the Jets likes to gamble. Hasty's got 3 interceptions. Watch this. Verdan's going to plant. Now, Hasty breaks on the ball. Great. But he wasn't sure whether to go for the tackle or go for the ball. He got caught there in no man's land and just hesitated for a second. You can barely see it in the picture, but he gets so close.
Colts at the Jets' 40. 4:09 to go, first half. Dickerson got away from Fraze. Stiff arm James Hasty finally got him out of bounds. A gain of 14 for Eric Dickerson.
You can't bring down Eric Dickerson if you hit him high. He's probably one of the best straight armors I've ever seen. I don't care if you're a 295-pound lineman, a linebacker, or a defensive back. There you see Fraze try and hit him high. He just lowers his shoulder, then uses his straight arm to get outside. He can run with anybody.
Spotted at the 25, and now one of the Jets going to need some attention.
Kevin MacArthur going over to the sidelines. It looks like he's pointing to his left knee.
Dickerson has gained 61 yards here in the first half on 13 carries. The last 4 carries, he's gotten 32 of those yards.
He's only averaged 47.5. How's that in fractions? How do you figure out the 0.5 against the Colts? Or against the Jets, excuse me.
Dickerson. This time maybe a yard. Coming up from the corner, Kerry Glenn closed in a hurry and made the stop. Got some help from Stallworth inside. Clock working down to 3:47. The Colts have moved the ball every time they've had it, but have only 10 points. So the Jets remain within a touchdown. Jets making wholesale substitutions on 2nd and 8.
Well, they bring in, most people on nickel packages bring in defensive backs. They bring in defensive linemen.
And Trudeau did not like the substitutions that he saw with the play he already had called, so Trudeau will use a Colt timeout to stop the clock with 3:23 to go in the half. The Jets bring in Bird, Nichols, and Washington, and usually Jeff Lageman will go to a down lineman in that spot, trying to get some more pass pressure.
And Lageman, you know, he was an outside linebacker, and it's different for him playing on the inside. Or I'm sorry, you know, it's just he was an inside linebacker. Now he's playing outside, and he's having trouble learning some of the techniques of the outside linebacker. One in particular is when you're an inside linebacker, you like to pursue. Now, as an outside linebacker, and we saw it on the short yardage before, if you get a guy who loves to chase the ball, boy, you can bring reverses and bootlegs around on his side. And he says it's the one thing that he really has to be careful of.
They feel that Lageman's going to be an outstanding player in time. He was one of the rookies that was hurt because he had a contract holdout. And when a rookie misses training camp, I don't care how good you were in college, you come into the pros, there is just so much to learn.
Played at the same high school with Alan Pinkett, who's with the Oilers out of Virginia, Sterling, Virginia.
Time of possession heavily in favor of the Colts, who have put together 4 impressive drives. Bentley slips the tackle, plenty of room. Bentley to the 5, shoved out of bounds. Carl Howard saved the touchdown, and that time Bobby Humphrey, playing man-to-man, never turned around and saw the run. He was chasing his assignment, his wide receiver.
That's the job. You get locked into man-to-man coverage, all you have to do is trap, and that's what they do. They trap whoever is covering Bentley, and it turns into a foot race, and in this case, Albert's got the advantage.
They'll spot it at the 1, 1st and goal. Ivy, Joe Hunter, and Dickerson in the backfield. Fake by Trudeau. Touchdown, and his tight end, Pat Beach. From the 1 to go play action, that's almost unfair.
Well, I know when you got Eric Dickerson, Albert Bentley in the backfield, and you run play action, it's cheating. I agree with you, that is cheating. You know, Beach, that's only his 10th catch all year. Show you how infrequently they even throw to the tight end.
And his first touchdown. Biasucci will try to make it 17-3. Stark gets it down, and Biasucci puts it through.
You want it. What does an Eric Dickerson do for your football team? Everybody focuses on stopping Eric, especially with a yard to go. There you see the end of the play action, but he faked into the line to Eric, and Beach is just wide open with an escort in the end zone.
Closest player to him was Dickerson.
There you go. Dickerson's at fullback on this one. And Ivy Joe is the guy who's going to do the play faking, but still, I mean, no matter, as long as Eric is in the backfield, everybody's attention is focused on him.
Jack Trudeau very happy about the outcome of that, and Pat Beach his first touchdown in 3 years. And Ron Meyer now sees his club go up by 14 points on the 2 touchdown drives. Jack Trudeau is 8 for 8 for 119 yards. Just can't be any better than that.
We said that this was a very pivotal game for Jack, and he had to really come to the forefront and show his leadership. He's made great decisions with the football, throwing the ball, completing them big plays, and now executing the third downs when he has to.
Jets down by 14, and remember, there are 22 players on this team with 2 years or less experience. Robert Irsay, the owner of the Indianapolis Colts, obviously enjoying this one so far.
And you see the phone in his box does not go down to the press box. That's what Jim Irsay told me. He says, no, he can't call down. He said he wants to call down. He's got to come to my box.
Biasucci to kick it away. Of course, Irsay, when he was had the Baltimore Colts, was known to send in some suggestions.
Yeah, he'd run into a payphone. You know, he'd run out into the hall and run into a payphone and say, give me a bench. I got to call somebody down there.
3:12 to go in the half. Bobby Humphrey. Across the 20 to about the 22, really taking some punishment. And the Jets will start from there.
You know, Mike, you reach points in a game and in a season where maybe a series or a quarter or something. This series for the New York Jets is so vitally important. Kenny O'Brien has got to figure out some way to keep this drive going to get some points on the board. The Jets have moved the ball fairly well. They've had people open. They just haven't converted to third downs. It's up to him and his offense to move the ball down the field and get something.
And he has plenty of time and all 3 timeouts left. Townsell and Toon, the wide receiver. Pressure from behind. O'Brien never saw it. Completed it to Hector. Hector forced out of bounds. Will gain a couple. Ken O'Brien last week accused of being a wimp by the Miami Dolphins. He is far from it.
Oh, yeah, that's baloney. That's just a defensive guy, John, whether you're a rookie or whether you're a veteran. There you see the shot he takes. I got baited into that situation once by a defensive linebacker, and then the next week I thought I'd go diving in the end zone. I got my lunch handed to me. They set up quarterbacks like that. They think we're stupid, and I was stupid enough to do it. But Kenny's as tough as they come. He's taken a lot of pounding for a number of years, and he'll take some more.
Lewis Oliver was the guy who made that statement for Miami. Here comes the blitz. O'Brien under pressure, sacked by Chip Banks. There was a gamble by the Colts to pick up Chip Banks, who had problems with Cleveland and San Diego, but the ex-Pro Bowler has produced.
Well, he's proven his worth. He's 6'4", he's 245, and he just gets around the corner. He's so quick. Alexander doesn't stand a chance. Now, one of the other things they've talked about with O'Brien is they've said O'Brien holds the ball a long time. You talk to the defensive guys of the Colts, and they say, Donnell Thompson, he does hold the ball a long time. He holds it a little bit longer than maybe he should, and that was a case where he might have gotten rid of it.
3rd and 12. Colts show blitz and come with it. They've got O'Brien at the 16. Jeff Herrod in the middle of that pile, but it was Donnell Thompson and Sam Clancy, the former basketball player from Pitt, who put on the pressure.
The Jets were a little confused at the line of scrimmage here. They run a twist up front. John Hand just comes smoking up the middle. And I'll tell you, if a quarterback can't step up the middle and make a throw, there's nowhere to run but outside, and usually you got the end sitting out there waiting for you.
So Prokop has to come on with 2:18 to go in the half, and the Colts should have excellent field position getting the ball back. Clearance for Dan waits at his own 41-yard line. Game day, 11:30 in the morning next Sunday. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, Pete Axthelm, and Fred Edelstein will be along to tell you what's coming up in the NFL all day Then at prime time, 7 o'clock, highlights of every NFL game. John Saunders will be along to join our crew. And then next Sunday night, Joe and I will be in New Orleans. The Rams and the Saints, 8 o'clock Eastern. Jim Everett against Bobby Hebert.
And the 49ers lost today. Both the Saints and the Rams won today. That race gets tighter.
They're all getting tighter.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the AFC and 9 and 7 wild card berth. It could happen in the NFC the way things are going.
Sure could. Prokop stands in zone 2. Beautiful sailing punt for Dan at the 34. Giving ground. Has a seam. For Dan back to midfield and a flag down for a late hit out of bounds. A 49-yard punt, a return to 15, and there will be 15 more on the end of it.
Personal foul, face mask, number 54, kicking team during the return. First down.
Troy Benson, the linebacker.
What makes this play is on the left side, Phillip Epps was tied up at the line of scrimmage. There is no cover man on the left side for the Jets. He's completely down the field, 4 miles. There you see the top of your screen. He is supposed to be down to the ball before anyone else. Now you see him 20 yards later finally coming into the picture.
Well, Benson didn't get over there in time to get the face mask. It was somebody else, but Benson got in the late.
There he is trying to get down. Now his job is to go down and make sure Verdun can't make a move. Look at the job being done by him by the Colts at the line of scrimmage. He gets about 8 yards down the field.
Dickerson on the delay, dragging people with him inside the 30-yard line. That will take us down to 2 minutes. The Indianapolis Colts, impressive with a 17. Well, all year long, the Colts have had a tough time scoring points in the first half, averaging less than 7 points. They have 17 in this one. That's
right, and what they've done is they have really produced offensively. Their defense has shut down the Jets. You could see it by time of possession. But their offense has played well, especially Jack Trudeau.
Yes, he has.
Tonight has been Jack Trudeau's tonight to come out and lead the football team. He's done exactly what he's had to do.
You said earlier that he watched from the sideline a week ago because of that bad left hand, and apparently it's paid off.
He's really playing within himself.
1:59 to go in the half. Trudeau changes the play. Four-man rush. Under some pressure this time. Loose ball. Picked up by Hinton. And I think they'll call it down. Gerald Nichols came in and manhandled Jack Trudeau.
I think one thing also, Chris Hinton has to realize you can't run the other way either. You know, that doesn't do you a lot of good running towards the other team's goal line.
I think he was just working on some momentum. And it would have been a nasty sight if he'd gotten turned around, too. 3rd and 11 for Trudeau. Rifles this one. Great throw to Risen, and Risen out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Any questions about Trudeau's arm would be answered there.
Oh, he just set and fired this one. Risen just going down and run a stop. Good protection. See how he gets a chance to step and lean into it? And he put all the mustard he could get behind that one. Risen does a nice job of turning to the outside. Nobody ever really gets a good shot at him. We did that Michigan State-Georgia game, the Gator Bowl last year, where he just lit the world on fire.
4 catches tonight, 100 yards. Bentley, after going in motion, gets the delay. Excellent play over there by Dennis Byrd. One of the pass rushing specialists made the good tackle. Colts only have 1 timeout left, but plenty of time on the clock. 2nd and 13. Risen and Brooks go right. Trudeau flipped it to Dickerson. Clifton out there. Chased him out of bounds. Hope you'll be with us at halftime. Chris Berman comes along with the fastest 3 minutes in television. Joe Ehrman on the men who played the game, and Joe Theismann will be back with his first half analysis and a lot to talk about, especially from the Colts viewpoint. Jack Trudeau has played brilliantly. They've gotten good yardage out of Dickerson. Andre Rison has made some big plays.
And that Jet defense has got to be exhausted. They've been out on the field over, 25 minutes. You just can't leave people out there for that long.
Kevin Call is back in at right tackle for Indianapolis. 3rd and 15. Trudeau to Brooks. Wrapped up by Hasty at the 15-yard line. It will be shy of the first down. And here comes the field goal team.
Well, if he makes this, Mike, it's the same situation the Jets had last week against Miami. They were ahead 20-3. Looked like everything was going real well in their way. They wind up losing that one. This is something the Colts have to be careful of. They can, and the Jets, certainly with all the weaponry on offense, can put points on the board. I certainly wouldn't turn this sucker off. I'd stay here. I'll bet you $1 to a donut.
Well, we will stay here.
Absolutely.
Start to hold for Biasucci as they let the clock run down as far as they can. 32-yard attempt, and Biasucci back on target. He is 2 out of 3 tonight. And the Colts now up 20-3. Not a fun first half, and typical of the year that Joe Walton and the Jets have had.
And this has got to hurt him more than anything because he's their own.
With one of the squib kicks. Townsell at the 10. Get it back to the 22. Split the wide receivers and split the running backs behind O'Brien. Hector on the little delay, and he'll get back a yard shy of the line of scrimmage. Brought down by Sam Clancy. That will do it for the first half of play. It's been almost all Colts here at home at the Hoosier Dome. They lead the New York Jets. Third quarter, Bobby Humphrey and JoJo Townsell are deep. And this will be the most important possession of the game for the New York Jets. They need to get some points on the board. They have moved the ball, but scoring is more important than that.
Yeah, time of possession, all that kind of stuff doesn't count. You got to put numbers up on the scoreboard.
Humphrey at the goal line. 24-yard line brought down. The Jets will start from there. And as you take a look at the halftime stats, look at the total yards. That's 299 to 90.
Well, they're beaten in everywhere. Every place that the Colts could beat up on the Jets, they have. First downs, completion percentage, passing yards, rushing yards, total yards. You can forget about the rushing yards. The rushing yards now should be to keep the Colts honest. I think they can't abandon their game plan, but I still believe they got to get the ball to the guys who can make plays for them.
One turnover hurt the Jets in the first half. They were down in scoring territory and came away empty. O'Brien quickly out to Townsell, gets the feet down, out of bounds at the 33. Townsell has gone from a premier special teams player with the injuries to Walker and Toon to one of the starting receivers, and he's had a good year.
Yeah, it's been a real sound. 32 possessions, 3 TDs. He's averaging 17.5. But, of course, when you don't have an Al Toon in there to help you out, really, and everybody would focus on Al, JoJo's numbers would probably still be up higher.
2nd and a yard to go after the gain of 9. Johnny Hector fighting for the first down stick, got close. Here's what the Jets did when they had the football in the first half. 62 yards, ends in an interception, an impressive drive. Then they got their only points after a 4-play drive that resulted in a field goal. 42 yards and a punt. And after that, they really never threatened the Indianapolis Colts defense. Measuring for the first down. Half the length of the ball.
That was great. They didn't have to face a 3rd and short.
Yeah.
That's important. You can come up with 2nd and 1 all the time. They can handle it. They've had real trouble on 3rd down and short.
It has not been very kind to them. Joe Walton hoping the offense will be able to do something this half. He needs a big production out of his unit. Johnny Hector. Nothing doing this time. The nose man, Armstrong, had him around the ankles, and then Donnell Thompson finished him off.
Well, they felt like they could run inside. Freddie Young's only 235. Jeff Herard's only 245. But then you're faced with Harvey Armstrong, who's 6'3" and 280. And he can take up a little bit of space.
First-year starter is Armstrong out of SMU. Spot the ball at the 35, so it's 2nd and 10.
Jets taking some good splits, trying to spread out that 34 defense.
Hector in stride, 50, 40, 35, 34-yard line. Driven out of bounds by Dwayne Bickett, but a perfect throw by O'Brien. There is a flag down, however.
This one's going to go against the Colts, though. Right here on this play, you're going to see the play-action fake up inside. Hector's just going to swing around. They're in man-to-man coverage. When this guy comes in motion, there's nobody out in this section of the football field. He just runs all alone by himself. The inside linebacker who's in coverage, they don't switch off quick enough. And Johnny Hector says, hey, I'm all by myself. Nice move right there to pick up an additional 10 yards.
Penalty was against the Colts. The Jets decline and have a first down at the Indianapolis 33. A.B. Brown in the sole setback. He has not carried the ball this year. And flag stopped the play.
False start prior to the snap. Number 86 offense. Still first down.
That's the tight end, Keith Newbert.
Hey, you can't blame him. He's only played 1 year of football before he got drafted. Here's a guy who was over in Europe playing basketball, and all of a sudden somebody called and said, oh, by the way, you got drafted in the 8th round by the Jets. Come on back, and that's what he did. Really, he played basketball in college. I mean, and now he's a starting tight end in the National Football League.
1 year of football at Nebraska. But he was impressive enough in that 1 year to go to the scouting combine and try out. A.B. Brown on the toss. McElroy in front of him. Cuts it back. Brown down to the 31-yard line. First carry of the year for A.B. Brown. Cliff Odom made the tackle. Look at all of the injuries. Altoon, Wesley Walker, and Mickey Schuler. I mean, these are 3 great receivers, and they've been almost useless to this team.
Well, we talked about it. Altoon has practiced only 15 times the entire season, including training camp. Wesley Walker has practiced once, and that was on Wednesday, and had to drain his knee after it.
Ball spotted at the 31, 2nd and 8. O'Brien with time. Little dump off to Hector. Stutter step, can't get away. Stopped at the 27-yard line. Nice defense by Banks and Herod.
They held their ground, didn't give up. They let Hector dance all he wanted to. Just stand there and shuffle back and forth. They just froze their position, never moved. The old 1-2 doesn't cut it. You'll see it. Again, a little check down. There's the throw to Hector. Now, one outside, one inside. Now, one outside, a one inside. A one outside, a one inside. And then onto the ground. The trouble is his partner had a blue shirt on, wanted to take him down.
3rd and 4. O'Brien goes to the shotgun. Deep for Toon. Overthrown. Pretty decent coverage by Bruce Plummer. And Altoon, the big target, not big enough.
Well, it's excellent coverage because Toon's running a corner pattern, or it's a deep corner, and Plummer's on the outside. See, they split, they bring Toon inside tight. Now, Plummer does the right thing. He's on the outside pattern. I mean, if he's running a post, he's dead. But he just happened to be in the right defense fundamentally. Here's a guy who knew what his job was, and he stayed outside, and that prohibited the Jets from completing it.
Leahy, who has been an excellent long-range field goal kicker, will try from 45. And that's the way it's gone. Leahy jerks it left, and the Jets remain 17 points down to the Indianapolis Colts. All at their own 27-yard line. Trudeau once more hit from behind, loose ball. Trudeau got it back. and is pounded as he reached the 30. When it goes bad, it goes bad. Lageman got him from behind.
Well, Lageman on the blitz. Colts not backing up at all. He sets in the pocket. Lageman will come in from the left side and just run around the block. Slaps the ball out of his hand. Now Trudeau, presence of mind, finds it. Now here's the way the ball bounces for you. One nice hop right up into his hands, and then boom. I mean, he runs into a wall, a jet wall.
Reminiscent of another 56, Chris Dolman of the Vikings. We'll see in a couple of weeks. Dickerson on the delay. Chase to the sideline. Look at the speed to turn the corner. McMillan there to meet him as he got the first down. In the first half of play, the Colts very successful when they had the football. They scored 4 out of the 5 times that they had the ball. The first on a field goal after a drive of 50, then 75. Look at the length of these drives. 63 they missed on that occasion, however. An 80-yard drive for a touchdown. I mean, that's very impressive. And then 21 yards for a field goal.
And that came at the end of the half, after they had the opportunity to shut them down on defense.
So measure for the first. And they got it. Ponies having fun in Indianapolis.
Yeah, Pony feels pretty good about the way things are going. So does this guy. And he should. I mean, anytime you get the ball knocked out of your hand and you wind up with a 2-yard gain chasing it around the field, you know things are going your way.
Trudeau has never had a season in the National Football League for 4 years where he has thrown more touchdown passes than interceptions. Right now, he has 7 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. And he has to carry them if they're going to make the play out. Trudeau under pressure. Knocked away. Great play at the last minute by Eric McMillan. Brilliant athletic move. Otherwise, Risen has it in stride for a touchdown, and there is a flag down on the play to boot.
And McMillan simply tells all the defensive backs, I will cover for you. Go ahead and be aggressive.
Face mask, number 55 defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Alex Gordon called for the face mask penalty. He was the one who was putting pressure on Jack Trudeau.
And he has not had a good year. Matter of fact, none of the guys that I think the Jets have counted on up front have had very good years. Alex Gordon is one of the veterans. Marty Lyons not having a great year. Mercereau, his has been so-so. Just haven't had it up front.
1st and 5 after the penalty. Dickerson chased from behind and caught by Paul Fraze. That's the second time he's been able to trail a blocker and use his speed to make the tackle.
As soon as Hinton or Call take off, either one of the tackles on that counter move, he just humps right in their hip pocket, and he's gone. He just stays right with them. And Dickerson is so deep in the backfield that by the time the movement is made, the guards and tackles get out in front, Fraze is right there.
The only way you can do anything with Hinton is run behind him. If you're in front of him, you get slaughtered.
Can't see anything either.
2nd and 5. They'll run Hinton's way this time. Dickerson cuts it back. McMillan again gets the stiff arm, drives him out of bounds. Dickerson with that tremendous upper body strength. But boy, can McMillan close.
McMillan is a bona fide all-pro. He's going to be an all-pro as long as he wants to be in the league. Watch this change of direction, though. Dickerson, remember, we talked about the backside, so very important. There you see him take off past Benson. Stallworth doesn't stand a chance. Watch the stiff arm, though. Right on the shoulder and the side of the head. McMillan tries to tackle him, can't get a hand on him.
1st and 10, Colts at their own 49.
See McMillan flow? Now look at him come back. There's 2 all-pros, one-on-one.
McMillan made the Pro Bowl last year as a rookie, the first rookie to do it since Emerson Boozer in '66. Fraze again, with help from Marty Lyons, they'll bring Dickerson down this time at the line of scrimmage.
There's a guy who's playing really well. Paul Fraze out of Syracuse. Only about 265 on the end. You'll see him make the move right upfield. Does a good job on Ben Hutt. Good spin move. Little spinner. Likes those little spinners inside. The spinners work inside because that's where the running back is. You try that spinner outside, you wind up away from everybody.
2nd and 9 with 9.5 minutes to go. 3rd quarter of play. Colts with a 20-3 lead, bidding for more. Four-man rush. Trudeau finally under some pressure. Deep for Verdun. Verdun to the 3. Trudeau has been sensational. That one was for 48 yards.
What he's doing is so well is he's hanging the ball up in the air and letting the speed of Risen and Verdun just go get it. Well, see how the height of that ball is? Now, that's not a real tight spot, but it's up in the air. It's up high enough, and they're just perfectly thrown passes. He's hit both the long ones in stride. There it is. Look at how it comes. See how it falls out of the sky? That's the way you got to throw the ball down the field.
Bobby Humphrey only a step away, but that was enough. Trudeau fumbled the handoff, but the play will be blown dead. Once again, they were going to go to Bentley, the short man. Linebackers have gotten so good at jumping over the line at the same time the tailback does on those dive plays, and I think it's a great idea to give it to the short man. The linebackers don't have time to react to it.
Absolutely right.
Here's the call.
Illegal snap prior to the snap, number 53 offense, still first down.
Must mean Ray Donaldson moved the ball.
He did it the first play of the game, and here he goes again. Watch, a little hesitation. Ah, wait, hold. Timeout. No, sorry, Ray. Once it moves, you got to bring it up all the way. Jack's going, whoa, where is it?
There's Clarence Verdun, who just caught the nearly 50-yard bomb.
ESPN, you know why? Because he almost talks as much as Chris Berman. But he does talk as fast.
First and goal from the 7. Trudeau under some pressure. Caught at the goal line by Risen.
There's the flag from Humphrey.
Oh, Humphrey got his 2 cents worth in.
Well, he bumped in. It's one thing to do it verbally. It's another thing to bump into the referees. They're just not going to tolerate it. Now, oddly enough, in this case, you can't move it much closer to the goal line, so it's not going to matter.
A 2-inch penalty.
Yeah, about it. Could be the shortest one in history.
Question is, if they review it upstairs, if it's not a catch, the penalty will stand anyhow. You just can't lose your cool.
No, I mean, you know, you can disagree, but still.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 48 defense, number 48 has been disqualified from the game.
Oh, that's baloney. That's garbage. I mean, unless he said something really bad. But he barely touched him. There's a fake inside, a fake outside. Now Trudeau turns upfield, does a good job. Here comes the replay. Yep, it's a good catch. It's a good catch. It's a good catch. Risen was inbound, but unless see, watch this right here. Look at that. Now they just, you know, he touches him and they disqualify him from the game. That's wrong. I'm sorry. That is absolutely wrong. I mean, they had a brawl out there on the field in the first quarter, and they don't even throw a penalty.
No penalties.
Now he bumps into him. That's a bad call.
You can't touch an official.
Yeah, but still, I mean, the guy bumps into him. He's heated, right? It's not like he pushed him with his hands. He just bumped him. I don't agree with it. I think it was wrong what he did, but it does not warrant being thrown out of a football game. I'm sorry.
Apparently, they are still reviewing the play, and Humphrey is taking his sweet time coming off the field. The catch at the 1-inch line, and I honestly couldn't tell from the replay whether Risen got both feet down or not, but Humphrey going to the locker room, accompanied by a chorus of boos from the 60,000 partial crowd.
Well, if it's not conclusive, they can't reverse it, so play stands as called. There goes Humphrey on his way to the showers, and you know, it's just frustration. But you can't let it your emotions run wild. I still don't agree with the objection. I mean, nothing.
You lose your cool, you hurt your team. First and goal from an inch away. Dickerson and Ivy Joe Hunter in the backfield. Dickerson. Touchdown. And this one's starting to get out of control at 26-3.
His 5th rushing touchdown. This is just power. You cannot stop Eric Dickerson if you hit him high. Hasty tries to take him up around the shoulder pads. It's not going to happen. He drags him into the end zone.
Biasucci will come on for the point after, and there you see Dickerson, 83 career touchdowns. He has been a marvel. Start to hold. Biasucci converts. And we've got a fight.
Pat Beach and Eric McMillan going at it. That's one of the toughest things when you're in field goals and extra points. You know, one team's frustrated, the other team's just standing there. Maybe a guy reaches out and gives you a hand someplace, and you don't like it, so you get upset.
McMillan was going for the block and thought Beach held him and was upset after it. Joe Walton just upset. His team is down. 20 Sell and Philip Epps are deep. Epps pinned in the corner, trying to bring it all the way back across, and has no success. Buried at the 13-yard line. John Brandis on special teams, and the scoring drive again. 72 yards, extremely impressive by the Colts, and Dickerson capped it from 1 yard out.
Of course, that one's set up by the big reception by Clarence Verdun. There's Eric's numbers, 84 yards. He just sneaks up. See, the thing is here's a case of them getting Eric Dickerson the football. He can control the pace of a football game all by himself. Trudeau making the conversions, Dickerson running the football. That's the story of the Indianapolis Colts on offense.
And there's the guy who would like to carry it 30 times a game every game. Pat Ryan needing to go to the air to produce something. Too high for Johnny Hector, who is buried by Jeff Harrod. Excuse me, Kenny O'Brien. Another Jets quarterback, Tony Eason, who had to think about it for a week.
Yeah, you know, and he said he didn't want to go because his friend, he would be competing against his friend. I mean, we're all friends. I got a lot of friends in football. But, I mean, you're talking about a job, and it's all good, clean competition, and you let it go with those. He's staying with Kenny now, so, you know, they're still good friends, and he's still a part of the Jets.
O'Brien dumps it to Hector. Nothing but Colts waiting for him at the 20-yard line. Good effort by Hector to get that much out of it. Cliff Odom in on the stop. Odom playing a lot tonight because Fred Young suffering from a neck burner. Pretty good set of linebackers for the Colts.
Yeah, you know, 3 out of 4 of them in the Pro Bowl. I mean,
and Harrod will be.
And he should be, you're right.
The Jets have had terrible field position all year long. Starting at their own 20, 54 times.
Well, you just can't go 80 yards every time lining up.
Pickett comes on the blitz, they'll blow the play dead.
False start prior to the snap, number 79 offense, still 3rd down.
Watch Kenny O'Brien's right leg. Now that is, see, well, we didn't see it. But what he does, let me tell you what he does anyway, even though we didn't see it. He lifts his leg up. Now, in dome stadiums, it's hard to communicate with your center. So the center looks through his legs. O'Brien lifts his leg up. The center waits 1 count, then snaps the ball.
3rd and 8. O'Brien to Toon, and Toon ducks under a tackle.
And he's short of the 1st down.
About a yard shy, it appears.
You know, what's the sense in running hook patterns if you're coming up a yard short? You got to find where you are on a football field. Gosh.
Now they will bring in the chains from the sideline to measure, but where they spot it, it looks like he's at least a yard shy.
He ain't even close. I mean, they're bringing the chains in because somebody has to, I guess, if you can go take a little break now, go grab something from the refrigerator. Because that's just a refrigerator break. That's what this measurement is.
Harvey Armstrong, the nose man, comes up limping on the play.
Look at how far he is away. It's a good 3 inches. What do? Do you go for it, Mike?
No, I don't think so.
You kick it. I guess not. I mean, the success that the Jets have had on third down.
Which is no success at all.
Yeah, really.
Prokop to punt for Dan is deep.
Both punters in this game, Prokop and Stark, were both decathletes. Incredible athletes. This guy here, look at the leg. That's not pads, that's his thighs.
Almost blocked. And it takes a Colts bounce down to outside the 40-yard line. A 33-yard kick. Michael Ball nearly blocked the kick. There's a flag down at the 45-yard line.
They're going at it again. That's Kerry Glenn, number 35, on the Jets. They're mixed it up. They get a little grabbing each other's helmets and face masks. And he's got that club on his hand anyway.
15. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, face mask, number 35 kicking team after the ball was dead. First down.
Kerry Glenn, so the Jets give up 15 more yards on the penalty. And we have a timeout with 5:51 to go, third quarter. It's all Colts, 27-3. Oh, no, still Wood.
Still a little bit of Wood.
27-3. Colts with the ball at the Jets' 40 after the 15-yard face mask penalty. Dickerson trying to get to 100 yards for the first time as a Colt against the New York Jets. More pushing and shoving after the play. Another flag is down. Kerry Glenn again.
And Mark Boyer, number 84 for the Colts. I mean, they chased each other all over the field.
And Kerry Glenn is going to be out of the ballgame if he doesn't watch it.
That's what they're doing.
A fighting souvenir. Perfect for this one.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 84 offense. It's a continuous action foul, 15 yards from the dead ball spot, still first down.
You know what Jerry Seaman ought to do right now, Mike? Is he ought to get the offensive captain together and the defensive captain together and say, listen, guys, enough of this stuff. Let's play football. There they are. There's Boyer's. It's all, you know, you shove. Kerry's only got one hand, so he can't push back very hard. Now he tries a little inside action.
Called a continuous action foul, which means the play counts. So we go back to the 50-yard line.
Call them together, let them settle down, and just, you know, tell them to play. Still first down, but now they got a mile and a half to go.
Trudeau. Short, the crowd wanted a flag, and they get it.
No.
I think that ball was tipped.
At the line of scrimmage. Absolutely not. The referee makes a good call. I mean, he makes the right call, but the fact is they'll come over and tell him it was tipped. There'll be no flag.
Lageman raced downfield to say, hey, it was tipped.
Like the Jets are saying, what else can happen to us?
There is no defensive pass interference on the play. The ball was tipped. We have an incomplete pass, second down. Right
at the line of scrimmage, there you see. The hand goes up. Kyle Clifton manages to just get a piece of it before it gets on to Billy Brooks.
And all bets are off. Kerry Glenn on the coverage with Brooks.
Nice job.
Consulting with each other.
Nice job by the refereeing crew.
5:11 to go, third quarter, second and 20. Colts at midfield. Dickerson. Gaping hole up the middle. Radachowski brought him down at the 40. More college football coming your way. Have a late Thanksgiving dinner with us. West Virginia against Syracuse from the Dome. And then Bino, Bob, and Lee will come along on Saturday, game day, 11:30 Eastern. Then at 3:30 Eastern, we have Tennessee and Kentucky. It's a great year for Tennessee. That's at 3:30 Eastern on Saturday afternoon.
Does Major win the Heisman, Mike?
I hope so. I think he's the best player in the country. Thanks for the question.
Hey, no problem.
3rd and 9. Trudeau completes to Brooks, and then he couldn't hold it. Nice play by Glenn. Shook it loose.
Boy, Kerry Glenn's just been involved in hitting everybody in the last 4 or 5 plays. He doesn't care whether they're tight ends, tackles, or anybody else. Now, Trudeau just doesn't get enough juice on this one. The ball hangs up for Billy Brooks. He tries to do the best he can to hold on. Now, what they would consider possession is when his feet come down to the ground. Just because he had it in the air does not constitute possession.
With 4:21 to go in the 3rd quarter, the Colts will punt for the first time. Ron Stark, one of the best kickers around.
There are 2 lefties in the game tonight.
And Townsell waits at the 10. Stark trying to hang it up. Townsell will take it at the 5. Doesn't have a single blocker back with him, and he's buried at the 8. Townsell trying to make something happen. Didn't get a lot of help. A 4-yard return after a punt of 33. 27-3 Colts over the Jets. And they are now communicating with anyone who is hearing impaired in our audience, and she just said, "We love the Colts."
And thank you.
You're welcome.
That one. Thank you. You're welcome. Bye. Catch you later.
Jets take over again in miserable field position at their own 9-yard line.
7 out of 8 possessions inside the 25. Not an enviable position to start for the quarterback, believe me.
O'Brien, play action, goes out to Toon. He dives forward to the 15-yard line and out of bounds.
13-22.
Tell you what, there are some strange-looking folks in the audience.
I mean, there's not a lot of things. There must be not a lot to do. Look at this. Look at this. These guys. Holy mackerel.
It's Sven and Sven.
Guy lost his chin guard or face mask. Either one of the 2. Look at that. Al Toon, 5 catches, 41 yards tonight.
2nd and 4. O'Brien play action again. Goes deep. Townsell bumped just before the ball got there, right with him. John Baker. O'Brien over the middle, and they've got a first down. Al Toon at the 20-yard line. Harrod really upset, but he couldn't stop it, and Banks comes up holding his shoulder. Here's the scoring summary for the ball game. Biasucci started it off from 45 yards to give the Colts a 3-0 lead. Then Albert Bentley went in from a yard out. That made it 10-0. Leahy came back for the Jets with a 46-yard field goal. That's as close as they would get it, 10-3. Trudeau on a nice play-action play on 1st and goal from the 1. Hit Beach for the touchdown. Biasucci came through with another field goal. And then Eric Dickerson capped off the scoring with a 1-yard run to make it 27-3. Banks is out of the ballgame. Quintus McDonald in at linebacker for Indianapolis. O'Brien forced the scramble. Has time, throws complete to Wesley Walker at the Colt 49.
Nice job by Kenny O'Brien buying some time. Offensive line gives him a chance to move around. There you see the pocket collapse. Big rush by John Hand right up the middle again. O'Brien, not a runner. He's not going to run anywhere. 8 rushes this year for a total of 18 yards. Veteran receiver Wesley Walker sees his quarterback in trouble and works back towards him to give him a throwing lane.
The Jets have allowed 40 sacks this year, and this their 11th game, but they've done a pretty good job tonight in protecting O'Brien.
Well, you got a guy who just doesn't move. I mean, everybody on defense knows what Ken O'Brien's basically going to be, so it's tough on the offensive line.
Johnny Hector gets about 5. Banks, who came out a couple of plays ago on the sideline. Chargers wanted him to stay in rehabilitation till the end of the season, then try to play next year. Banks very anxious to get back on the football field. And the Colts admitted they were rolling the dice when they picked him up from San Diego.
Yeah, he certainly has played well. It's given him that stability, that strong side linebacker.
O'Brien under some pressure, had it tipped, still caught, and then dropped by Townsell at the 31. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. A little tougher to catch when it comes end over end.
Well, you know, you saw how much, even by the scramble, you saw how much time Kenny O'Brien bought himself by running around. Here he's in the pocket again. And now, like, what happens is if the lineman can't rush, they just jump up and knock the ball down. That was Cliff Odom. I mean, that's it. All they're going to do is they're going to, you know, they see the quarterback look one direction. They know he's not a scrambler, so they take a position about 5 or 6 yards away, and these guys all jump up in the sky. Although he's only 6'2", he gets up in the air pretty good.
Jets facing a 3rd and 6. They've converted 4 out of 9 third downs tonight. All-out blitz. O'Brien with time over the middle. Complete. Newbert to tight end. Dragging a tackler with him down to the 31-yard line. Ball had him, but was getting a free ride for about 4 yards. Newbert at 248, 6'6". Kenny O'Brien comes up a little gingerly after that last one.
This is the price you pay. He's right in the pocket, stands right in, and takes one heck of a shot from the side. Oh, boy, Jeff Perrott just absolutely laid him out from the right side.
They want a screen, and A.B. Brown dropped it. And really not a bad idea that he dropped it. He was in front of the 3 blockers in the screen, one of whom was on the ground.
Well, it almost makes you wonder if it was actually a screen. I mean, are they not doing that big a job up front? There's supposed to be a 1-1,000, 2-1,000 count, but here it looks like a jailbreak. There comes Armstrong in. I want to tell you something. You can't make me for 1 second believe Ken O'Brien is not one tough cookie.
2nd and 10 for the Jets. Play action fake to Hector. O'Brien deep over the middle. Nobody there except for Mike Pryor, who intercepts.
He may be tough, but he didn't make a good decision on that one.
No, he didn't. Pryor gets his 3rd interception of the year, the former replacement player, and with 2 of the Colts corners, one out with an injury, one out with a virus, the secondary's done a great job.
They really have. You wouldn't think that they've missed a beat. Goods out, Daniels out, Pryor just filling in, doing his job. O'Brien's got a lot of time. Here, you know, you get into a situation where you think your arm is stronger than it is, and it's really not. This one just hangs up in the end zone. Would have been way short of the receiver anyway.
And Pryor smart enough to down in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, you know, now they have the ball in the 20. Didn't try and run it out.
59 seconds to go, 3rd quarter, 27-3. That may have been the last gasp for the Jets. Dickerson, Fraze, who has had a fine game along the defensive line, pulls him down. Help from Alex Gordon. Fraze has been impressive against the run. There's Pryor on the sideline after his 3rd interception of the year. Kenny O'Brien and Pat Ryan on the sideline. You saw Eason earlier. He was in street clothes because he's on the inactive list tonight.
You know, it happens so often. When your team is struggling as a quarterback, you don't want to take the short ones. He knows he's got to get back in the game and get a score up quickly, so he makes a decision to put it down and it blows up in your face.
Trudeau throws complete to his tight end Beach. Juggling the ball, still had it at the 27-yard line. That will be the last play of the 3rd quarter, and the Indianapolis Colts in total control, trying to raise their record to 5-6 and stay in the playoff chase.
You know, the thing is a couple weeks ago he said some things about hey, everybody on this football team isn't playing, myself included. They were misinterpreted. Ron Myers even said he overreacted maybe a little bit, but that's what happens when you're losing. Everybody overreacts to everything.
Crowd enjoyed it tonight, leading 27-3 to start the 4th quarter. Dickerson busts through a hole, this time across the 40 to the 45. Eric McMillan made the tackle after a gain of 18.
I guarantee he wanted to go the distance. He watches TV. He's seen Bo Jackson dance, and he says, hey, I've been here a while. Watch this. Straight up the gut. Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Eric runs right at 1 tackle. Now watch him switch hands. Look at that. See how he switched the ball over to the other hand to protect it and then uses a straight arm.
Dickerson now with 900 yards rushing this season. First time as a Colt he's rushed over 100 yards against the Jets. He has 119 and counting. Nothing that time.
Marty Lyons out there to meet him. Kyle Clifton put on the brakes and said, whoop, time to reload.
120 yards now. His 56th 100-yard game. That's incredible.
You know what's more incredible, Mike, is you look at the average tonight, 4.8 yards a carry. That means every time he touches the ball, he's picking up half a first down for you.
He's had 4 100-yard games this year. His previous season low was 5 times. But he looks healthy again. Trudeau against the blitz for Rison. Almost made the spectacular catch. Right with him was James Hasty. Boy, has Trudeau thrown the ball well tonight. He has thrown it beautifully, Joe.
He just, you know, he's putting the ball up. The thing that's so impressive, you see the height and trajectory he gets. It's almost out of the picture. As a matter of fact, it is. And here it comes back in. See how that baby turns over? He's giving his guys a shot to run it. Look at it. He's running all the way over to the sideline. He thought he threw that one home. Body English, you know? It's like when you try and putt those 40-footers, which you never have. You have the 4-footers. I have the 40-footers. You wouldn't know about that. The body English helps out.
Third down, 10 for the Colts. Trudeau moves Dickerson. And then everybody else moves.
Well, what happened is Chris Hinton looked up at the 45-second clock. He saw it go to 0, and then he figured, well, they got to snap it.
Now they just threw another flag after the play. This will be interesting. It appeared that Chris Hinton kicked one of the penalty flags.
Well,
now, if they penalize him for this...
Well, they threw a guy out of the game for bumping into an official. I wouldn't be surprised.
Now, this was bumping into his flag.
Oh, okay.
We have a false start, number 75 offense. We also have unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking the flag, number 75 offense. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty and then 15.
Yeah,
come on.
You hurt that Hinton, man. Hey, whoever does the laundry of those flags is upset because it's got probably a little black mark on it now, and he won't be able to get it out.
We both watched a lot of football. I never saw a flag abuse penalty before.
No, I mean,
have you?
No, I mean, it's just, you can take this thing so much. You got to use a little common sense. Guys are frustrated. Let them kick the flag for crying out loud. That's not losing control of a football game.
So they march it back to the 25.
Ron Meyer says, what was that call? Kicking the flag? Oh, brother.
Please.
There it is. Look, I agree with you, Ron.
I do, too.
Kicking the flag. Come on.
That's the new one.
Chalk that one up. That'll be discussed at the owners' meeting.
Third and 30, they'll go to Dickerson on the draw. If I had third and 30, I'd give it to Dickerson, too.
Why not?
Colts will have to punt it away. Dickerson, 26 carries, 131 yards.
He said he wanted the football more, and he's got it. And really, the Colts are not a complicated formula. You got a guy who's a blue chip back like that. You got to give him a chance to make plays for you. That's why they brought him here.
Jets show 10 men on the line of scrimmage as Townsell waits at his 15. Start to punt. Let's see if the Jets come.
What a great time for a play fake.
Start got rid of it. Not much of a kick, and it takes a bounce back the other way, all the way back near the 40-yard line. A kick of only 24 after the bad bounce for Ron Stark. Timeout with 12 over the Jets. 27-3 New York ball at its own 40-yard line. Bickett and Banks both slightly injured for Indianapolis. They may not be back into the ball game. Al Toon forced out of bounds as he crossed midfield. Bickett with a sprained ankle and Banks with a pinched nerve in his right shoulder. And Banks is back into the ball game. I was just going to say, with a 27-3 lead, you would think maybe Banks wouldn't be playing, and now he'll come off the field.
Yeah, but, you know, guys are professionals. If they can play, they want to play. That's why, you know, in a game like this, why do you leave your starter in? Because you just don't want it. You want to leave him out there. You don't want to disrupt his rhythm.
Hector with a huge hole up the middle. Gets to the 41-yard line. Banks, of course, his problems well documented. And now joining the ranks of people who have had just a legion of problems with drug abuse. Dexter Manley kicked out of the league. Of course, you can apply for reinstatement in a year, but you wonder if anybody's ever going to get back in as O'Brien is sacked back past midfield.
Well, you know, the thing about Dexter, what scares me, is when he was in the National Football League and I played with him, and he's an effervescent kid who made a bunch of mistakes. Not one, not two, but a bunch of mistakes. What scares me is as long as he played in the National Football League, there were some kind of restraints on him as far as not having to do substances. Now, all of a sudden, he has nothing to keep him from getting involved, possibly worse. I'm worried as a human being for Dexter Manley. I don't care if he never plays football again, and that's the stupidest question to ask somebody. Will you reinstate him in a year? Who cares? Let's talk about a human being being saved. He should never play again. Hopefully he'll be okay as a human being. That's what's most important.
John Hand being helped to his feet. We have a timeout with 12:13 to go. 12:13 to go, and there's Dwayne Pickett on the sideline.
Wake up, Mike. Wake up. Just kidding there.
Third and 12. Walker had 2 shots at it, couldn't come up with it.
Good coverage by Michael Ball. There's Wesley, runs a little out and up. Ball doesn't really bite. He's running with him. Now here's the ball. It's good coverage. Ball hits him, hits Ball in the shoulder. The ball hits Ball in the shoulder and just bounces away. Now the Jets are going to go for it on 4th down and 12.
Why not?
I agree.
11:55 to go. If you have any chance, you have to do something right now. And Joe Walton says, you know, it doesn't matter to me if it's 45-3. Let's try to get back in the game.
And again, Mike, you got to make the point in this game. The Colts lost both their starting corners to the flu and hamstring injury, and they still managed to come back.
Al Toon with a great catch and then turns around and got the first down.
Unbelievable. You got to get the ball to your playmakers. Al Toon's a playmaker. This is all Al Toon. This ball is way high. You see the good coverage. John Baylor working on it now. He makes his move. Ball way inside. Goes up and gets it. Not only that, has presence of mind to know where the first down is. Protecting those sore ankles.
Sam Clancy, the former Pitt basketball player, wraps up O'Brien. Toon, 8 catches, 72 yards tonight. So the Jets maintain possession. Short pass to A.B. Brown. He has it at the 30-yard line. One of the great names in pro football, Weave Eubank, who coached both of these franchises. Colts from 54 to 62, the Jets 63 to 73. Hurry up offense and hurry up. Jeff Herrod nails Kenny O'Brien. And as we saw Weave Eubank, we can only say, and O'Brien is still down. Really was blasted from the side. We have bad news to pass on to you. One of Weave Eubank and the Jets' great players of all time, Sherman Plunkett, the offensive lineman who played on the 58 and 59 Colts championship teams, died at the age of 56 at Mount Sinai Hospital yesterday in Baltimore, Maryland. He had suffered from cancer. And this is at a time when the Jets are trying to get a lot of former players together to form an alumni association. So if you're interested in that, you should contact the Jets. Here's that big hit.
And there's Kenny O'Brien just absolutely getting exposed. As soon as he lifts that arm up to throw, he's doesn't even have the faintest idea that Herrod is on his way.
Helmet in the upper ribs.
See him looking to his left. He gets it down just long enough. And you know something? That's a fumble.
It's a fumble, too.
I mean, they're just, you know, Jeff Seaman just decided to do something nice for the New York Jets. That's a fumble.
4th sack of the game, and O'Brien is still down. Once again, and here's the problem that O'Brien has had tonight. Early, the Jets did a very good job of protecting him, but he's been pounded lately.
33 attempts. 24 times he's either had something lousy happen to him or he's been running for his life.
And Pat Ryan warming up, looking to his first action of the season. So again, we would like to remind you on behalf of the Jets about their alumni association. They would like to start one, and they would like former players to contact them. So if you're interested in that, And good to see Kenny O'Brien up and be able to walk off by himself.
Get a hold of Frank Ramos regarding the alumni thing with the Jets. They care about the people that have played there, and they'd like to do something with it.
O'Brien, the numbers on him: 215 yards, 2 interceptions, and he has been tattooed, especially in the second half. And Pat Ryan, the 12-year veteran out of Tennessee, comes in. Both O'Brien and Ryan have had shoulder problems in the last couple of years, and both worked in the offseason to correct them.
This is no fun for Pat Ryan. I mean, you know, you're down by 24. There's 11 minutes to go in the game, and you know what you have to do, and so does the defense. And
it's 3rd and 11, and here comes the blitz. He unloads. Altoon makes the catch, dragged out of bounds as he got to the 32-yard line. It'll bring up a 4th and about 6. Bruce Plummer took him out of bounds. Really don't have a lot of time to get warm, do you?
Not only don't you have time to get warm, but the thing is the guys across the line of scrimmage, the defensive line and linebackers, their hands are down, their butts are up in the air, they're in sprinter stances, and all they want to do is meet where you are. You know, I mean, and what the Colts are doing is they line up in a 4-man defensive front, but they're always bringing that 5th guy, and it's Herrard. And I'm telling you something, when he comes recklessly and relentlessly.
For the second time on this drive, the Jets will go on 4th down. Here comes the blitz. Ryan with time, almost picked off. Baylor had it in his hands. It would have been a touchdown. But the Jets will turn it over on downs anyway. John Baylor out of Southern Mississippi would have had his first interception.
You know, John Baylor is going to feel great right up until this point when they look at the films. He times this perfect. He absolutely times it dead letter perfect. Hits him right between the 3 and the 6, and he can't hold on. And I'll tell you something else. His teammates aren't going to let him forget it either.
No.
There was nobody to make the tackle. I mean, that hits him dead between the numbers. And then he just drops down to the turf in total frustration.
10:56 to go in the game. Colts now in total control with 27-3. Dickerson. Took a big hit from Paul Fraser, who's had an excellent game.
There's one guy that's played exceptionally well for the Jets tonight. It's been Paul Fraser.
McMillan has been in on his share of hits too, but Fraser's been tough up front. Fraser's been in on 9 tackles tonight.
This is where the 45-second clock becomes a great amount of good fortune for the offense. I was looking for a word. I mean, you could have come in with some kind of word.
I couldn't
For the
think of
3
one.
or 4 people that are still watching this, they've been interested.
Turns out to throw. Rison tried to short hop it, couldn't come up with it.
You know what you're asking yourself? You're probably saying, why in this situation are the Colts continuing to try and throw the football? What the Colts are trying to do is they're trying to give Jack Trudeau an opportunity to work within the system, make the calls just like the game is nothing. There's no pressure on him. Now he gets a chance to drop back and execute and keep the rhythm for next week.
Is that why Dickerson is still in the game?
That's why Dickerson is still in. We used to get criticized when I was a quarterback in a blowout. Why are you still in? This is not college football where you put in your second team. These guys are out there. They earn the right to be number ones. They want to keep on playing.
3rd and 9. Trudeau to throw again. Bentley with a great catch. The pass was low and behind him. He made the catch. Clifton and a couple of his teammates put the hit on him. He may be shy of the first down. But what a great effort.
Oh, there's Jack Trudeau. Boy, you know, that's a smart thing by a quarterback. The guy makes a great catch. You walk up as soon as he shakes the cobwebs out a little bit and be the first face that he's going to see and just say, hey, listen, great catch. Thank you very much. This ball is thrown way outside low, and look at that grab. Just reached out and snatched that one and took a face full of helmet and got the first down on top of it.
Clifton just leveled him. And Bentley is one of those guys who they always say if he was with another team, he would be a star, a starter. I think he would too.
Absolutely. You know, before Eric Dickerson came here, Albert Bentley was the 2nd leading total offense guy in the National Football League. I mean, he was their star. and he's taken on this role as sharing the backfield with Eric Dickerson. Great.
Flea flicker. Trudeau. Rison couldn't hold it. Now, this brings up the question. You're up 27-3. You say you're keeping your starters in there so you can run your normal offense. Why do you do this?
Joe Walton's sitting there saying, all right, Ron. Listen, you know something? We play you guys twice a year. This thing goes around and comes around. Rison just does the stutter step on Hasty, not figuring this is going to happen. This is the one that just got away from him. That's a catchable ball. Very catchable ball. I mean, Jack Trudeau, again, puts the ball exactly where it belongs. Rison lets it get away, but still, this is the old throwback special. Got to figure Eric Dickerson's going to run with it. Trudeau hangs this one out. Now, that one's not put up in the air as high as the other ones were, but this is still a perfect throw.
I really find the call still a little hard to understand.
Yeah, I do. You know, that's the kind of call that it's not a respect call.
No.
But, you know, this has become a cutthroat, tough business.
Marty Lyons had to be helped off the field. He took a shot on the last play. And I think after that last call, the flea flicker up 27-3 with 9:32 to go,
yeah.
You may see some bigger hitting coming up.
Yeah, I'm going to back up a second, though. You got to remember what the Chicago Bears did today, though. You really do. This is the NFL, and lots of things can happen in a hurry.
Radachowski came up in a hurry to knock down Dickerson. Maybe I'm not out of line to say that the New York Jets are not going to be confused this year with the Chicago Bears.
No, I agree, but I'll tell you, again, though, Mike, it's, you got 9 minutes to go. We saw inside of 3 minutes, 3 quick touchdowns. Now, you say, well, it's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. Don't look at me like I'm trying to justify this play. I'm not. I'm just telling you, I don't, it doesn't endear, Meyer's not going to endear himself to Walton.
No.
But it still is a call within the parameters of the game.
Well, it was a nice explanation. I disagree with you.
I know. I'm not convinced. I convinced myself.
Third and long. Dickerson on the delay. And it will bring up a 4th down. Dennis Byrd made the tackle. Ken O'Brien, we're told, had the wind knocked out of him and bruised an elbow on the play where he was sacked.
He has had a lot of arm problems. He takes a long time to warm up. They held him out all through training camp this year, let him only work very sparingly. Then in the first week, he winds up breaking his toe and has to wear a metal plate on it. He has struggled, as have the Jets, through the entire 11 games of this season.
10-man front for the Jets. Start to punt. They can't get enough pressure on him. And a good kick this time to Townsell, all the way back to the 9. Got a good block. Across the 20 to the 21, and a late flag comes in. A 12-yard return after a punt of 47 by Ron Stark. And we'll check the call from Jerry Seaman.
There you see the illegal use of hands. What else is new?
The mandatory call
That's
on
right.
punt.
It's a kick, isn't it?
Illegal block during the return. Number 25, receiving team. First down.
And they'll take it all the way back to the 10-yard line, so the Jets will have to start 90 yards away from the goal.
Chip goes. I think he's definitely a candidate for the Heisman Trophy. I wouldn't be surprised if either one of them won it, to be honest with you. I think Major's had an outstanding individual year.
Yes.
I think Tony's done a great job leading the Irish. I think Rocket Ishmael probably could get as many votes. I mean, he's done that well. And will they win? Yeah, they'll win the national championship because Lou Holtz has got himself one great organization and one great football team.
Considering their schedule, whether they go undefeated or not, I think they're the best team in the country. Jeff from the 10. Hector. Middle of that Colts run defense has been a little bit soft tonight. That's where the Jets have had their most success. Jeff Harrod made that tackle. Sports Center coming up. You'll see highlights of the Packers' upset win over the 49ers. The Atlanta Journal 500 and everything that's going on in sports. Jets going with a hurry up. They get the ball up to the 25-yard line, and Rick Pitino will be along with a one-on-one interview. Newbert made that catch.
Here's your hurry-up offense. You know, the one thing that concerns Bill Muir the defensive coordinator of the Colts was if the Jets lined up with all wide receivers with that suspect secondary here. But they've done a great job.
Taylor with the interception at the 42. The pass badly overthrown, and the Colts will get it back.
And that's a classic case. You got a quarterback who hasn't had a chance to work at all, and he's throwing it to Altoon, who's only practiced sparingly all year. O'Brien wearing that glove on his right hand just because he can handle. You can just barely see it on his throwing hand. Now that's a sticky glove. Doesn't have anything to do with the ball. It's thrown very well. Altoon doesn't expect him to throw it inside. He expects him to throw it outside in the hooking area.
So with the third turnover, the Colts will take over, and Tom Ramsey gets a chance to come into the ballgame. He started last week, the forgotten man at New England, who has joined the Colts. Dickerson stays in, he gets the carry. Radachowski missed him. Fraze was over there to be in on the tackle with Dennis Byrd.
You know, when you look at you say to yourself, why is Eric Dickerson in the game? They only have 3 backs. Albert Bentley, Eric Dickerson, and Ivy Joe Hunter. I mean, they're the only ones that they have, the Colts, and there's his numbers. That's an outstanding job. Jack Trudeau can look at the mirror, look at himself in the mirror tomorrow morning and say, hey, they challenged me, and I met the challenge.
Said he had to be a leader and had to make the plays. He did both tonight. Couldn't handle the snap from center, but falling on it at the 39, Ramsey may have gained a yard on the bad fumble, or bad snap that resulted in the fumble.
Wouldn't be surprised if he gains a yard. We saw Trudeau get the ball knocked out of his hand, gains 2. Ramsey gains 1. There are his numbers: 2 games, 13 completes, 30 attempts.
This will make the Colts 5-6 and realistically keep them very much in the thick of the playoff picture the way things are going in the AFC. The Jets will drop to 2-9, and of course it was over for a long time ago for the Jets. They've given up 434 yards in total offense tonight. Dickerson trying to change direction. Radachowski, the second time he's been able to come up from the secondary and make the tackle in the backfield on Eric Dickerson. Dickerson with 131 yards tonight, 56 times in his career, trailing only Jim Brown and Walter Payton. Well, Jim Brown, of course, had 8 rushing titles in the NFL. Dickerson, great as he is, has 4. Nobody is ever going to catch Jim Brown.
No, Jim Brown will stand alone in that category.
Stark on to punt on 4th and 13. Jets once again show a 10-man front. Can't get there, and Stark almost hit the roof with it. What a punt. And they'll down it at the 6-yard line. We have an overhang in front of our booth, and Ron Stark kicked it out of our sight.
He bounced it off a light. I saw it. He's laughing about it. He knows how high he kicked it.
38-yard punt.
Kicking, and Kevin, congratulations. A well-deserved record.
Johnny Hector picks up about 4 to the 9, and congratulations to the Packers, who improved their record to 6-5 with a big upset of the 49ers.
You know, the Bears lose, the Vikings lose, the Packers win. And that one's getting closer and closer. Who's gonna win the Central Division?
2 weeks we have the Bears and the Vikings on ESPN. It'll be a big game. Johnny Hector diving out to the 15-yard line. The results of the AFC playoff picture. This includes today's results. Buffalo and Miami at 7-4. Cleveland 7-3-1. They were tied today. And Denver 8-2 pending Monday night's game. On 3rd and about 2, Roger Vick gets outside.
Buffalo has beaten Miami twice this year, so that's where they have the advantage.
Here's the wild card picture. Houston 7-4. We put Indianapolis at 5-6, 27-3 lead with 3:51 to go. I figure that's safe.
Well, way to go out on a limb, guys. That's the way to do it. Take a chance.
Roger Vick across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. First time in his career as a Colt, and only the third time in his career that Eric Dickerson has gone over 100 yards against the New York Jets.
Yeah, they have
done a good job.
They always have done a good job against them. And tonight they dug their own hole. They tried to match them drive for drive, and when the interception was made early in the first quarter of the game, it sort of just took the air out of the Jets' balloon.
2nd and 2 for New York. Clock ticking down, 3:04 to go.
And you saw Joe Walton there. The criticism and the rumors will start all over again starting tomorrow.
Vick makes the catch and is leveled by Kurt Larson, the rookie Michigan State linebacker. Here's what the Colts have to face to get into the playoffs, and not an easy schedule. San Diego at New England, then Cleveland and Miami, both here, and 2 divisional games in those 5, then at New Orleans to finish the season.
Well, the big thing is they'll play 4 of the 5 in domes, and 4 of those are actually, you see, 3 of the 5 left in, or 3 of the 4 left, 3 of the 5 left in domes, and they'll be here. And then the one they go down to is in New Orleans. So, and these guys love to play inside.
Do you think 9 and 7 will make the playoffs?
In the AFC, yes, I do. I don't think it'll happen in the NFC.
Vick trying to get outside. Got a block from Toon on the corner. Picked up a couple more to the 46. Ezra Johnson and Jeff Harrod made the tackle. And we're coming up on a 2-minute warning here in Indianapolis. The Hoosier Dome, half to 60% empty right now as people leave early to get a break on the traffic. 2 minutes to go, a 24.3 lead and 2 minutes left. SportsCenter immediately follows our ball game here from Indianapolis. We'll bring you up to date on everything that's happened in the NFL this year. And there's the man who would have been the starting quarterback all year, Chris Chandler, injured reserve after week number 3. The 4th time in 4 years that the Colts selected starting quarterback has been injured.
He's ahead of his rehab schedule according to doctors.
Toon with a catch. Pays for it at the 49-yard line. Baylor came up and nailed him. Here's what's going on in the NFC. The Giants with a comfortable lead in the East. Minnesota now struggling a little bit. 7-4 in the Central. 49ers after losing today 9-2. And we'll show you the wild cards in a minute. That is really getting to be a race. Hector on the delay. Cuts it back. Johnny Hector running hard down to the 32-yard line. Here's the wild card in the NFC. Philadelphia and the Rams both 7-4. The Bears now 6-5 after today's loss. New Orleans 6-5. Green Bay and Washington to play tomorrow night. And New Orleans and the Rams will have that game for you on ESPN next Sunday night. The Redskins play tomorrow night trying to get to 6-5. Vick on the little swing pass. Larson brings him down at the 30-yard line. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. The Jets have called a timeout with 56 seconds to go.
That is to allow more people to get to their cars. That's all that is. There's Joe Walton talking over with Pat Ryan, trying to figure out some way to just have this thing be a positive note for him.
Jets have 3 of the last 5 games at home. They are 0-5 there this season, but it's tough to call Giant Stadium home for the Jets.
It's not. It's the only team in the National Football League that doesn't have a home stadium. There you see his numbers. After the first 10 games, 89 being disastrous for Joe Walton. But, you know, when you think about it, most of these guys, they practice and live in Long Island. They have to drive over to Giant Stadium to play football games, and then it takes all of them about 2.5, 3 hours to get home after a ball game. I mean, it's really a team without a home.
And it's not going to change. Their lease there runs for another 20 years.
And the legion that they have of Jet fans are in New York City. The the New Jersey fans basically have bought tickets to Giant Stadium because they can't get Giant tickets.
Ryan throws to Toon, who makes the grab at the 21. That'll be enough for a first down. The other question that everybody seems to kick around for the New York Jets is, are they going to hire a general manager? If so, when? Everybody seems to agree they need one.
Well, they do. I think everybody agrees with it, but, you know, obviously there's only one guy who's going to make that determination. It's not you and me.
Townsell to the 10. Clock continues to tick away. Jets just trying to get one on the board, and now they'll spend another timeout. Colts fans don't like it because they want to celebrate.
All 5 of them booed.
Coming up next week, 2 games on Thanksgiving. Cleveland at Detroit. And Detroit, very dangerous football team. Philadelphia and Dallas. And the Cowboys, since we had them with a win over the Redskins, have scared some people, but still losing.
They really should have beat Miami today, but Dan Marino hangs up the Hail Mary, and they wind up beating them 17-14.
Chicago at Washington, the big game in the NFC playoff picture. Cincinnati and Buffalo, another huge game in the AFC. Houston and Kansas City. Kansas City has been tough. And Minnesota and Green Bay at Milwaukee. The Pack is back. Here's the rest of the schedule next week. New England and the Raiders. Pittsburgh and Miami. San Diego, Indianapolis. Seattle, Denver. And Denver just seems to do everything right so far this year. Tampa Bay, Phoenix, the Rams at New Orleans. You'll see that game Sunday night on ESPN. And then the Giants against the 49ers on Monday.
Got a great card next week. Got a great fight card next week.
Bunch of heavyweights. 24 seconds to go in the game. Ryan under pressure. Throws it away, almost complete to Roger Vick, but they'll blow it dead back at the 23-yard line. Kurt Larson got the sack. Sack number 5 for the Colts.
Talked to Donnell Thompson on Saturday. I said, how many sacks are you going to get against the Jets? He said, we're going to get at least 4.
Well, he was right.
He was right. There it was. They were right at 4.
Clock
now
running.
They got 5.
Pat Ryan just looking up and says, what's the point? And they call timeout with 3 seconds to go.
No, I don't believe he's calling timeout.
Joe Walton to talk to Pat Ryan. It's one thing to play to the end, but down 27-3 with 3 seconds to go.
This was a mistake. I want to read tomorrow in the paper that this was a mistake. That's all I can tell you. Unless, you just got 3, you figure, what the heck? May as well use up something tonight. Couldn't have used any of my offensive plays, so let me use up the timeouts.
Bob Lee and Dan Patrick standing by with SportsCenter.
Great.
Mercifully, in 3 seconds, this baby is over.
Yeah, we can all leave then. Oh, yeah, but on SportsCenter, you're going to see a fabulous interview with Rick Pitino. We might be able to get back to be able to watch it in time.
That's right. There won't be any traffic. Miserable night for Joe Walton and a wonderful night for Jack Trudeau.
Got ice on that little pinky of his.
Ryan goes to the end zone. Townsell, touchdown. Might as well finish it that way. And Bob Lee and Dan Patrick will have to stand by. We got a flag down on the play, and we'll have to go for an extra point. And John Baylor is down. Baylor gripping a knee. Remember, Baylor is in there because Chris Good was injured. Eugene Daniel, the other starting corner, had a virus. And this would be the 3rd out of 4 corners that they might lose.
Ryan hangs this one up. Townsell does a great job of coming back. It looks like Baylor just plants that. Oh, no. Townsell falls on it. That's what happens. It looks like he got it hyperextended back. Hopefully it is not serious. He just got it caught underneath JoJo's back. Well, once you catch your shoes on this stuff, and if somebody's on them, only thing that can move are your knees or ankles or something else, because your shoe's certainly not going anywhere.
Baylor out of Southern Mississippi. He was on IR last year with a broken wrist.
Good position. It's obviously going to be interference out there. Now watch, right there. Townsell falls on his ankle and has his foot nailed down, and as he leans back, it seems like he twisted it.
And Baylor going off the field very gingerly. Well, that's really tough. Last play of the game, a meaningless play, and you come up hurt.
A nothing play. Absolute nothing play.
Which, when we go back to the fact, why do you play your starters in a blowout? I think it's a mistake.
Yeah, well, having been a player, you don't want to come in. This is when a game is fun. I got to be honest with you. When you're a starter and you've got a comfortable lead, that's when it's fun. The object is to kick the other guy's tail on the other side of the line of scrimmage. And if you're in a close game, it's back and forth. You get in a game like this, you can say, okay, I get to do it and have some fun doing it.
No time on the clock. Leahy will attempt the point after, and he's got it. And that puts an end to this one. The Indianapolis Colts have beaten the New York Jets 27-10. Joe Walton absorbs his 9th defeat of the season. Excuse me, the Indianapolis Colts go to 5-6. Once again, our final score. The Indianapolis Colts 27, the New York Jets 10. For Joe Theismann, this is Mike Patrick saying so long from the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. Join us next week in New Orleans when the Saints will meet the Los Angeles Rams. Two teams fighting in the playoff picture in the NFC. Coming up next, the ESPN Sports Center. Let's join Bob Lee.